I hope you have all your trick-or-treating done, because now it's time for the BananaLaser's Halloween special. Lock your doors, bolt your windows, and turn off the lights.
A man who police believe to be deceased serial killer Michael Myers hostage now identified as Laurie Strode. Miss Strode allegedly shot and killed
19, believed to represent the 19-year cycle of the moon. It weighs more than 5 tons, making its disappearance a mystery.
Has just made the grisly discovery of 3 bodies in the upstairs bedrooms of this house. It appears that the murders took place sometime early this evening.
Death has come to your little town, Sheriff.
Welcome, Laser Nation, to the BananaLaser Horror Podcast, the podcast that has to be peeled to be believed exclusively at horrorphilia.com with your trio of sexy hosts, Alex Edwards.
Yeah, asshole.
Woo! Dave Z.
Hey, yo! I'm a pretty simple guy.
And Matt Wazell.
Matt Wazell.
Matt Wazell.
Matt Wazell.
The potassium starts now.
Rip off your shirt, show me your tits, and say, let's go. What's up? This is Willie with WURG, The Urge 94.9. Excuse me. It's Halloween. We're going to have a good time tonight. What's up, Laser Nation? Welcome to another Halloween BananaLaser episode, all about Halloween Ends 2022. Me and my fellow bandmates are going to spoil this movie inside and out, so be prepared for that. My name is Matt Wazell, if you're nasty, and with me, as always, is the guy who just loves the fuck out of chocolate milk, Dave Z. What the fuck is up, Dave Z?
Who's that guy? Where did he come from? Who's that guy? Where can I get one? I'm singing a song from Grease 2 because people are drawing all kinds of comparisons. Jesus. Because of a 2-minute ride in this movie. People are acting like they're on a motorcycle for like an hour of it, and it's like Grease 2, you know. So, but I'm happy to be here. It's going to be a real interesting show.
Happy to have you. Grease 2, a movie that everyone here has seen.
Many times.
Yes, but we also got someone else here, and it's the guy who's still watching Hard Target after hours at work, Alex Edwards.
I don't feel like pretending to be best friends with an ugly-ass boy podcaster. That was so random.
Be random. It's the last show.
How you doing? Yeah, it's our last show ever, right? So,
wow. Well, this is it.
Until age 50.
It all ends tonight till age 50. How old will Jamie Lee Curtis be then? Oh boy, that's probably not that far off actually. If H2O was in the 90s, yeah.
Well, actually, we have to review Spiral too because they kept that going too.
Oh yeah. Oh. God. Back to the basement. Oh shit. Yeah, you're right.
We may as well die in that fucking basement if we're gonna do Spiral.
Do we still have that drip sound or?
No, that was all real, Alex. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I mean,
I was dripping my.
Yeah,
I was the one dripping the whole time. Actually.
Oh, you were leaking?
Yeah, that was Dave.
Yeah, I was getting it on. Yeah, man, I was getting on with that rat. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
And Pin.
Charles
no, not
the
Pin.
rat?
That's right.
Hey, Dave.
Sorry, I should have brought up Pin. Alex is the one that fucks Pin, not me.
Right.
What do you guys think of Halloween Ends?
Oh, Pin. He's still here.
I heard it's really polarizing.
Haven't talked to you in a while, buddy. How's it going?
Man, I miss you.
I miss you guys, too.
God, I think I hear some moisture jostling around in his skull. Is that from you, Alex?
How much would you pay to see Alex fucking mouth fuck Pin?
Oh. Well, at the lowest, $0. At the highest...
And finish.
Probably 1,000. I can spare 1,000 on that.
So 0 to 1,000, okay.
Mm-hmm.
How about 500 each? Hold on, let's see if we can get Alex to do it. If man, I give you 1,000, will you do it?
Does this go to like just Patreon people and then it gets deleted after they see it? Like, is this going to go on YouPorn or something?
Wherever you want it to go or not go, it goes. We just want to see it.
Does my face have to be in this?
Well, we want to see you do it, so we have to see it. Right? Hey, so we have to know it's
if
you.
If Rob Zombie can get all his movies crowdfunded, then we can get some crowdsourced funds for this.
That's true.
We should.
Okay, well, yeah. So, turning it back to Halloween.
Interesting show. I told you it was going to be an interesting show.
Obviously. Mouth fucking pin. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, don't be sorry. This is what people tune in for. This is gold, Jerry. Gold. Yeah, so I think we've all watched this movie probably a couple times now. It's been a minute out for a while. It's a very divisive movie. I don't think zero of our predictions actually occurred from the last show that we did. But I think we should first off just address the major change of the movie, and that is the fact that Michael is not the main antagonist in this movie whatsoever. He is there, but we primarily follow the journey of a new villain, tortured soul, whatever, Corey Cunningham.
Cunningham?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yes. Amazing.
Yes.
Took it back.
The parallels.
Why doesn't this say Cunningham? That's what should have happened in this movie, too.
Well, it practically did, but yeah.
Right, he was being bullied. Remember that shit?
Time.
That's a perfect opportunity. And this movie kind of did Christine stuff. And it's John Carpenter. Boy, they dropped the ball.
It really did.
They dropped the ball.
Yeah,
wow,
no
now I'm mad.
Yeah.
My rating just went down.
Yep.
Just because they didn't do a Cunningham.
They lost
and it's
0.5.
Yeah, they did.
If only instead of him breaking his chocolate milk, like they ripped through his sack lunch, like in Christine. That
Right.
And he went, fuck.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they made it milk. It was a Cunningham tribute, but they didn't want to say Cunningham. Wow, huh? Wow.
Cunningham. Well, okay, so, I guess let's just give our overall thoughts about this tactic in this. And I guess maybe we'll start with Dave, but what do you feel about this story with bringing this character in and primarily following him through pretty much 80% of the film? I just want to get this whole thing out of the way first. I feel like it's the only way we can do it.
I think it was interesting. It wasn't what I wanted. However, I'm not unhappy that that's what I got. You know what I'm saying? That's what it... And to me, Michael still is the main antagonist in the movie. Because I'm thinking about him the whole time and what's going on and how this is... How A plus B is equaling C here. And I'm just... also trying to figure out what it's going to lead to. Where the fuck is it going? And why? And this and that. There was some good, some bad, but mostly good. But, yeah, I dug it. I dug it enough.
Well, I sat there and, you hear all these weird things. I think one person said, I think it was Neil, he was like, I'm 30 minutes into this and I have no idea what I'm watching. So at that time, that's the only, spoiler I kind of saw. With that going in, I knew that I had to think differently here. So let's just say from the jump opening, warm open or whatever you call that. Once that happened, I was pretty invested, and then because they introduced this character in a pretty jaw-dropping way, I was totally invested in the having the empathy and all that kind of stuff. I actually was totally intertwined in what was happening to the point where I didn't even notice that Michael wasn't in it for 40 minutes. So I guess that meant that my overall consensus is that I was along for this ride, whatever it may be. So I was on board.
Awesome. Yeah, I think I'm the same way. I was really sucked in with the opening scene. It's a definite grabber, and just wondering where it's all going. And the fact that, yes, Michael's actual body might show up until later in the film, but his presence is definitely expressed throughout it, the opening. And so I thought it was a great grabber, and just interested in, where it was going. I thought it was a great opener. I think the actor who plays Corey, I really liked him in the role because he goes through so many different like ranges, and I think he pulls them off pretty well. And so I was very happy with it the first time I was watching it.
Rohan Campbell.
Okay, I'm guessing this is like his breakout performance, kind of like Allison was in the first film.
He's on like the Hardy Boys, Snowpiercer, Operation, and Virgin River, which are all current shows. Like
TV shows? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Virgin River and the Hardy Boys is a TV show.
His name is Lohan, like as in Lindsay?
Rohan. Rohan.
Rohan.
Or Rowan.
Okay.
Maybe Rowan?
Rowan. Oh, you know what? That's probably like a cool way of spelling Rowan these days. I wouldn't doubt it.
Rohan.
Okay.
That's from Lord of the Rings, I think. Rohan. Yeah.
What about Roham? Is that something? Or no, Broham. That's a car.
Yeah, with some mayo. Yeah.
Built like a Cadillac. Broham.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good. Not that we all have to have the same opinions, but it sounds like we're all kind of similar with the take that they did.
And it's shocking how many podcasts you think this happened to. Well, it also happened on Exploding Heads, but it was only 2 of us. But still, you know, and especially that dude. He hated Last Jedi, and I called this the Last Jedi of fucking this franchise.
100%.
So, and right, thank you. And he's a Star Wars guy, and he likes Halloween. So I thought he would hate it because of what happened, but he didn't. So I was like, okay. How about that?
Yeah. This is either it's both The Last Jedi and, like we said earlier, it's also Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, which just goes wildly off course from what people want or think they want from a Halloween movie.
Look, man, we can shut it off if you're scared of monsters.
No, you're scared.
I'm 21 years old. I don't get scared.
You're scared because you know Michael Myers is stupid.
Boogeyman's gonna get you.
He's not gonna get me. Michael Myers kills babysitters, not kids.
Okay, that's actually pretty disgusting and probably not appropriate for kids. Why don't we shut this off now? We can play hide and seek before bed. Your parents are gonna be home soon.
I don't want to play no hide and seek. Stupid. I want to watch this movie. And I don't really feel like pretending to be best friends with an ugly ass boy babysitter.
Okay, 5 minutes and then you're going to bed.
You suck at babysitting.
I'm not a babysitter.
Start back with that opening scene. Takes place in 2019, so it's a year later from Halloween Kills and Halloween 2018. And it looks like Halloween is still in full swing in Haddonfield. I kind of thought that they would do a Halloween 5 where Halloween would be canceled, but seems like it's just as busy as ever. I figured after a 40 people massacre that they might want to cancel it or something, but I guess not. I thought that was pretty interesting. But this whole opening, considering that it has entirely new characters, we've never seen them before. I mean, this feels like a short that would be on one, like an opening of an anthology.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, but, you know, you kept thinking Michael was going to show up, but then it turns out it's just this awful tragedy with Corey and the boy. I mean, let's face it, this fucking kid had it fucking coming, this little asshole, right? I mean, come on. You know.
I gotta say, his lines are better than any kid's lines in any Halloween movie. Like, I literally laughed out loud. I had an out loud chuckle moment when he said, I don't want to pretend to be friends with an ugly ass boy babysitter. Yeah. Like, that was just, I love his whole demeanor and his delivery and all that good stuff. It was great.
He's definitely better than the kid in Halloween and the other two. That was being babysat, you know, with the nasty toenails. So just get that shit right out, that type of fucking writing. Get it right out. See, 2018 was like kind of the hokiest in that manner, right? And it was a little less hokey in Kills, but they had other dialogue that was a little iffy. But in this one, it has the least amount of iffy dialogue and a better tone, like a dreadful tone overall, and that's what I dug. But what an open! Holy cow, that was amazing.
So good.
I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this poor Corey kid. I mean, he lets him watch The Thing. Even though he clearly shouldn't be. He's been wetting the bed and talking in his sleep, according to his mother, because they never found Michael Myers. Imagine living in this town where he kills so many people, and you're what is he, 8 or 10 or something, and you're trying to sleep at night. Oh my God, I'd probably be shitting my pants.
Yeah, but it's weird the way they set it up though, because he's like, Michael Myers doesn't kill kids; he kills babysitters. I'm fine. You're the one who's going to get killed.
Yeah,
I loved it. Yeah.
And by the way, we called that whole thing. We said that in our Rob Zombie's Halloween review that they should have been playing John Carpenter's Thing while Lindsay was watching TV. Yeah, and when I saw that, I've had the biggest smile on my face, and I thought of you guys. I was like, see, someone got it right. Like, he plays the original, he remakes it. When they do it again, they play his, and they finally did it. I was so happy.
Dude, that fucking Ryan Turek did it again. He listened to that podcast and he stole that shit from me. That's what happened. Not only did he fucking never give me my Paranormal Activity 1 and 2 DVDs and blow me off when I talk to him, now he's ripped off my shit and passed it on. I am furious about it.
Dave, you must have not watched all the credits, because there's a BananaLaser credit at the end. Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah, it's a big banana. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. And also, it's a good start, because obviously the biggest character journey is Corey's in this film, and it mirrors Christine quite heavily. But it starts here because he seems friendly enough, but he also immediately gets annoyed with this kid while watching TV. And then if you get locked in a room, he just immediately starts knocking down the door. He's got anger issues built in. So this is showing he's already primed, I think, to be, aggressive. Wow. Don't you think? He goes to that door nuts. Yeah. I think they were trying to set us up that he has already got anger inside of him.
We are all afraid of the darkness inside ourselves.
Oh my God. Are you reading from Laurie's memoirs? Jesus.
No, isn't that what Loomis said?
Hey, was that quote? Yeah, wasn't that the quote at the beginning of this movie? Wasn't it there? And didn't they say it? And wasn't that the one that was used in H2?
Halloween 2, yeah. He said it in the back of the cop car, yeah.
Samhain isn't evil spirits. It isn't goblins, ghosts, or witches. It's the unconscious mind. We're all afraid of the dark inside ourselves.
See, that type of dialogue is just fine with people. Mm-hmm. But others is not. You know what I mean? It's just, they're both kind of hammy in their own ways. But because it's scary sounding, you just go with it because you're a horror fan.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I brought it up, but they used Laurie's writings as kind of a catch-up because after 3 years have passed and the town is gone sour, I guess, because of Michael Myers. The threat is looming. But the shit that she's writing in this book is I would buy it and read it, but I'm there's a couple lines in there where I'm just rolling my eyes oh my God, you need to help with this book. You can't publish this.
You need an editor.
Yeah, you need somebody to come in and be okay, let's say that, but maybe in a different way, that kind of thing.
Haddonfield was a peaceful town. And then one Halloween night many years ago, all of that was lost. Michael Myers was pure evil. He took our dreams and turned them into nightmares. As he was locked away in his prison, I disappeared into mine. And then, as I predicted, 40 years later, he escaped. And Haddonfield was once again forced to confront this man in a mask. His senseless brutality ravaged my community and killed my daughter. And then he vanished. Impossible? Perhaps. Truth would evolve into legend as people searched for motive and meaning, looking in the shadows for their boogeyman. In the years that followed, the people of Haddonfield descended into a plague of grief, of blame, of paranoia.
You think he's come back?
Michael doesn't use guns.
The suffering Michael caused became an infection, passing on to people who never even crossed his path. And as the town turned in on itself, I made a promise not to let fear rule my life anymore.
Did you not like it, possibly because it felt like too Hollywood, like they had to catch you up like a cheap way, or did you actually enjoy the fact that we were using these memoirs as like showing more character, stuff for her?
No, I liked it for the movie. I'm just saying.
Me too. Okay.
Yeah, it
Just
worked
checking.
in the film to like catch us up, to like get us in the mood of why these things are happening. Like she has so many quotes, let evil inside, let him inside, the shape, all this stuff. I think it works for the movie. But as an actual memoir, if you take it out of a movie, it's like this is trash. But like I said, I would still buy it and read it. I feel like Blumhouse should publish this as like a real thing in her voice. I feel like they can make some money off of that.
Wow, man! See the ideas that we have still.
Yeah.
BananaLaser LLC. By the way, somebody made a fucking Arbor Day or is making an Arbor Day.
Shut up.
I kid you not. I know I saw this online somewhere. A horror movie at that. I'm telling you, an Arbor Day horror movie. Can you believe it? Another one. They got us again. I'm telling you. Anyway, Alex, what did you think about it? Did you like that writing, her writing in the book, or was it eye-rolling to you, or was it a Hollywood trick, or did you like it for the movie and for the character?
Not that it matters, but after the last movie, no, I thought this writing was a major step up. And I was thinking about it, and I was comparing it to Tommy Doyle and the things he was saying on the stage to do the same thing to us for that movie. And I was thinking of her in the hospital talking to the sheriff, and I was just thinking that this one actually kept my attention. Honestly, in kills and stuff, I kind of drift off when they talk. I drift off when Tommy talks about the boogeyman and all that, and who's too young to remember or too drunk to care or whatever. The things he say, I kind of start daydreaming during it. But this one, I paid attention because I wanted to, and I liked it, and it kept moving in a good direction. It's hard to explain, but I didn't feel like that's what it was, just exposition. I didn't feel it was that only, and I loved, I think what made it work really was the clips from Halloween 1 and stuff, and the clips from the prior movies of this trilogy and all that kind of stuff. I thought it came together beautifully. It looked, I was impressed with how good Halloween 1 looks compared to these new ones. The way they splice it right into there, it looks like it was shot yesterday, except for their clothes or whatever. But yeah, no, I thought it all fit really nice. It was really well done. I didn't feel the same way at all that I felt in Kills.
Nice, that's good.
It definitely laid a good foundation for this movie because, they're doing something wildly different in this film, and it's supposed to be, the end of this trilogy, so they needed to set the mood with what they were going for and why they're telling this story, so I appreciate it for that. But we skipped over this this credit sequence, and did you guys notice the blue font right away? Because
yeah,
I noticed it was different, but I didn't put my finger on it that it was the same font from Season of the Witch.
Same thing.
Oh, really? I was spoiled completely. So.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah.
That sucks. Well, I've also seen side-by-side comparisons that people have put up online that has 2018 kills and ends right next to parts 1, 2, and 3, and they stole the fonts from 2 for kills as well. It's just slightly different from the original one. So that's really cool.
It's very cool. They tributed it, and you know what? This movie in particular, it tributed every freaking one of the franchise. I was looking at it and taking notes, and I'm like, every single thing, every movie from Halloween 78 to freaking before this trilogy, they took something from it, even if it's something small, in this particular movie. So I like that. And they've been so cool with, like, you know, giving nods to the original stuff the whole time, and especially Halloween 3. There's been Halloween 3 stuff right along, and they didn't have to do that. It's not even a part of the Myers timeline. So it's like, it just shows that they love the franchise. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I guess this movie had a resurrection nod with the fact that they had a John Woo movie and possibly some kung fu in the background. So it was a nod to Busta Rhymes' kung fu scenes.
Oh, I thought it was just a nod to mullets.
Awesome.
Yeah, but also I sent you guys a link to this article that quoted David Gordon Green, the director, writer of this film trilogy, and he talks about a scrapped ending that they never even, fleshed out, that they would somehow tie in Silver Shamrock and a warehouse of Silver Shamrock at the end of this movie.
Didn't I say that?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you did.
I did. Didn't I say I wanted his mask, it to be about the mask? Mm-hmm. And honestly, with this movie, they could have done that. They could have taken that route, right? Because it would have made just as much sense as what they were doing. Why not? So they could have done that, and then just at the end, there's the Silver Shamrock freaking little thing on the back. How amazing would that have been? And the guy said he didn't want to do it because he didn't just want to do it for fan service of part 3. And I'm thinking, why is that a bad thing? I sound like, what's his name? Isn't that a good thing to be mistaken for a celebrity?
Did you notice that like you said, there was a nod to basically every single movie here? Did you notice that none of them were really eye-rolly like they were in Kills or in 18? Those, they were so on the nose.
True.
These were clever. And I liked it. And I think if they did do that, that'd be so on the nose again. I'd be like, oh, God. Like, yeah, we get it, So, and plus, Dave, I don't know if you realize, you kind of predicted this movie. You said that this movie would have, like, Charlie Bowles, like, he's the one who infected Michael Myers with evil and stuff. Like, you said that. And, like, that's how Michael was created. And now, in this one, Michael, his evil was an infection to Corey. So that's really weird how you said that.
I'm just an outside the box thinker when it comes to writing. That's why I want to write.
He was like, can I have an imagination?
Yeah.
No.
Well, that gets you in trouble, though. Yeah, right. Nope is right. It got him in.
No, you can't, because people hate this movie because it's not a Halloween movie. This is not. Have you seen the petitions going around for people to sign? Like, get the fuck out of here. Just stop,
Amazing.
people. Yeah.
It's
Jesus
fucking hysterical.
Christ.
Didn't they do that with some other show? Didn't they do it with like some finale of Game of Thrones or something?
Game of Thrones, yeah.
Because there was a Pepsi can in there or something. Or some
it was like a Starbucks coffee cup. Who cares?
Yeah, something.
Someone responded to the petition. They said, here's what you do when you watch a movie that disappoints you. Turn off your television and move on with your life. It's really as simple as that. This fan entitlement to demand exactly what you want out of anything is demented behavior. Nobody is reshooting anything for you.
There you go.
Who said that? Whoever, they're right on, but who said that?
His name is John Squires.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, Freddy in Space. He writes for...
Oh, he's Boy Disgusting.
Is he BD? Okay.
Yeah, I think he's the editor-in-chief for Boy Disgusting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good, though. I'm glad I agree with that.
Yeah, totally.
Guys, this is completely completely off track. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. But do you know what my father thinks happened in Rocky IV, who Rocky fought in his memory now? Do you know who he thinks he fought?
Oh no.
Okay, I'll just give you the punchline.
Hitler?
My father and when he looks back on the movie, he goes, oh yeah, Rocky. We were telling what he didn't like about it, and he goes, yeah, and he goes, ultimately he thinks that Ivan Drago is actually a robot, and it was revealed in the movie.
I think he's.
Can you believe it?
I think he's blending the Twilight Zone episode with Rocky IV. Isn't that what happens in Twilight Zone? Like isn't it called Steel? That episode, the boxer is actually a man, but it's supposed to be two robots in the ring.
How do I not know this?
tough.
I don't know. I got to look it now and freaking maybe I didn't get the reference.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I think he's confusing the fact that Paulie got a robot and that, remember they were showing some of those scenes with him working out and using those electronic
He
things
used
and
technology,
stuff. So in the way my father's memory work, because he's 84 now and he hasn't seen the movie since fucking it came out. Yeah, he goes, oh, come on. He goes, and then they had him fight a robot and something.
They're really reaching this time.
I think that's
Right.
the plot of Creed 3.
That'll be great. They ripped us off again. Anyway, I thought you guys might get a kick out of that.
That
I
is-
wasn't sure if you knew about it.
No, that's hilarious. I mean, yeah, he's not wrong. There is a robot in there, like from Chopping Mall or whatever. So, yeah.
Wow, I'm wearing a Chopping Mall T-shirt. How about
Oh,
that?
right on.
Because the Skeleton Crew one I thought was going to be a little tight. Wow, how about that? It paid off.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can read your shirt. Yeah, so then we're thrown back in at the start of the movie, back with Corey, and you see what his life, I guess, has become. He's still not like going to college or anything. He's working at a chop shop, I guess, for his stepdad or something. It's definitely not his dad. I still haven't figured it out, but hey, we have to stop. Let me get this cat
You got
out
a
of
mouse?
here. No, it's my
Oh.
cat. I got to get her out of here.
Oh, I
Hang
hear
on.
the
cat in the laser lamp?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I love cats. They could be here.
All right,
That's
come
fine.
on. Yeah, so we're following Corey, and then we get introduced to these bullies that meet him at the Quick Stop, where, again, he's trying to buy some chocolate milk. This guy loves chocolate milk. And I fucking love these bullies because they're fucking... It took me the second or third time watching it, realizing they're marching band kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time in band camp, we beat up this kid named Corey.
I couldn't believe, instead of jocks and like hoodlums and stoners, it's fucking marching band dorks. Like, wow, the world has changed, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Instead of 35-year-old mechanics in high school, they're a band.
Yeah, and they're actual children. I mean, yeah, the more I thought about it, you know, kind of like, it's like, well, maybe they're still trying to, because, I mean, Corey just like shuts down in this scene when they're picking on him, and they jump all over it. And so I guess the fact that they're in band and also half of his size and like 5 years younger, I guess they are trying to, just show how broken, I guess, he is from all this stuff over the past few years after killing that little boy. I guess, because he definitely does not stand up for himself one single iota. He folds like a piece of paper.
It's when they mess with his mind and start calling him a pedophile and a child murderer and all that. That's when he just totally shut down. I was like, oh, Jesus, they know who I am, too. So, like, and of course, pedophile is not a real thing. They just call him that because he has something to do with children, I guess. But, yeah, so he's 25 right now, and he was 21, the same age as Michael when he escaped when he first killed that kid.
He's 25 now, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's another wow, similarity. That's pretty cool. Well, I understand why he folded too. I just think that he's just in an effed up place and he just doesn't want to draw any more attention to himself. And Can you imagine that happening to you? You know what I mean? You didn't kill anybody.
Oh, it's devastating.
You get out
Terrible.
and people think
Yeah.
you'd be in a terrible... Yeah, mentally, you're just...
Oh yeah, it's probably the greatest setup for a character like this. Like, how can you top that?
Yeah, so he's getting bullied. He breaks his yoo-hoo or whatever, and Lori just happens to show up at that time. And I think she clearly knows who he is. The kids know who she is, and she breaks it up. She offers to slash their tire because even though she's given up all the guns, she's still packing a knife. And this also establishes how they're both like outcasts. I mean, even though it's kids saying it to her, we do see later, like the female victim from Halloween Kills who got the light bulb in her neck, and her sister's like, you know, why are you so happy? You know, it's because of you. My sister's like this. So I think they're trying to establish that they're all outcasts, Lori, Allison, and also this boy. So they all have like a bond, essentially, you know, as to what they're all going through. Obviously, this kid is, you know, we'll find out later, he's being treated very poorly at home and stuff like that. And who knows what else happened to him growing up. But I thought it was pretty cool that she kind of came to the rescue. And she's definitely way different in this movie.
Oh, yeah, we got to talk about that.
Yeah, even in her acting, you can see that the weight is off of her. She's really good in this movie, I think.
They finally gave her some meat. And I'm going to say the same thing about Allison. Like, I love Allison.
She's great in this movie.
Me too. Yes. All of us. Good.
Yeah. And I lambasted her in the last movie. I was like, she has nothing. No charisma, nothing, whatever. Man, but they finally gave her meat to work with. And I'm like, wow, her, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Corey. I think this is a great script, and they all killed it. And that's why it works, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Totally.
And didn't we say that they couldn't do it because she wouldn't be a strong enough lead? Remember I said we were talking about kills, and I was like, dude, those kids aren't good enough to be able to be the main characters. And boom, proven wrong I was, at least with her in this movie. Everything about, maybe because she's a little older, I don't know, but her personality, even the way she looked, everything about her was like, I don't know, I totally gravitated. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Big improvement.
Yeah, Matt said that, like, I think Dave said they should give her some of the material that, like, Lori did in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and Matt said, nah, I don't trust her with that. Now, they didn't give her all that, of course.
Similar, though.
But what they did give her, she worked it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different person, and I'm way into her now. And I wonder if I can go back and look at her the same way in the I like her in this one.
I think I will. I think I haven't watched 2018 or Kills, since we just last reviewed it. But I think this is, if nothing else, this is a very kind of cohesive series of movies that I think each one informs the other one in such a way that I think they'll all make each other better for me. So, I'm actually excited to go back and just kind of watch them in order and see how I feel about it. But yeah, so since he cut his hand, then Jamie Lee Curtis takes him to the hospital where conveniently Allison works. And we get their meet cute here in the doctor's office. And she is immediately... I mean, surely she clearly knows who he is as well, I would think. But she's immediately, awestruck with him. You can tell. She can't stop staring at him and stuff. And this doctor is a fucking ass. Yeah.
She wrapped his hand with her panties.
Oh,
I mean, you couldn't be more obvious about this, and this guy just didn't get it.
Love potion number 9. Yeah.
Are you going to call him and invite him to her party, or are you going to just go alone?
Now pick a card.
Oh, no, I got the death card.
No, that's not bad on tarot. No, that just means a major phase is ending and a new one is about to begin. So that pretty much puts a nail in the coffin with that police officer you were dating. Oh, Doug. Oh.
You know, you need to find someone that can let go, that makes you want to rip off your shirt and show grief your fucking tits and say, you know what? Let's go.
I guess let's talk about it now. What do you guys feel about their, like, romance? I mean, I thought it was really cool how in the first movie, and I guess the second, but they dressed up as Bonnie and Clyde. And here, as the movie goes on, I'm like, oh shit, they're actually Bonnie and Clyde. Like, for a while, I kind of thought Allison might start killing people with him whenever the killing starts. I thought it was kind of fast that how much she falls in love with him, but I just took it as, you know, the whole outcast thing, and nobody understands what I've gone through, but this kid has gone through something just as tragic, and so maybe we can share that bond together or something. Did you guys like their love story at all, or how that was working?
It made sense, I think, and I think that he looked like her ex. That's like, I kind of thought that, like, early on. I go, yeah, he kind of looks like, you know, the kid from the first two movies. And it's like they explain later.
No way, dude, because I would totally fuck Chris Cunningham, but the other kid, no way. Yeah, but Chris can get it. Okay.
Yeah.
And by the way, Laurie had a knife.
Whatever his name is, yeah.
Chris Cunningham.
Yeah, good old CC. I thought it was cool because she dug him and she explained why. Because she knew that he had been through some shit. She liked the way he looked, I'm sure, because he looked like the ex. And it makes sense to me. And the funny thing is, Laurie tried to bring them together. She played the hand, but honestly, but Allison didn't even need Laurie. She was attracted to him for one reason. That's the tragedy of this, is that she was trying to do good by helping two tortured souls, her granddaughter, well, and her. Actually, she'd feel better too, but herself, her granddaughter, and Corey. She was trying to help these people that have been through trauma, which is, you know, what this movie's about. And they've been through it, and they're like, okay. But then the cool thing is she was attracted to him for a different reason. She was attracted to the dark side of him. That's why it becomes so tragic. But it's cool that it all... I think it's really cool, though. It's realistic to me that would happen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, and also she has this ex-boyfriend or guy that she dated who's a cop.
Oh god.
And who's
he looks so old.
Yes, exactly.
I can't believe it. Didn't he?
He looked like Sheriff Brackett.
It'd be like me dating her. That's what I felt like. It was someone that looked like me, like dating fucking 22-year-old. Not that I have an issue with it, but he just, yeah, fuck yeah. But they usually tend not to go for that.
I couldn't find his age anywhere.
He's like the polar opposite though of Corey, in every way. He's a cop, he's supposed to protect or whatever. So maybe she wanted to date a cop because she felt vulnerable or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to read too much into it, but...
well, all I know is Corey said all she needs is a lift and 2 screws, so...
I know, yeah, I know.
And she had no reaction to that.
Well, and that's another reason I like this movie, and I like Kills. I guess the writing in general, now, not necessarily the dialogue all the time, but the writing, how everything flows. You know how when you're watching a movie, and then... things just seem to jump around and happen, like, well, why are we in this scene now with these people? Well, in this series, everything makes sense. Like, the cop pulls her over, it introduces the muffler, it also introduces that they used to date, it also introduces the fact that there's probably something living underneath this overpass, and then she goes... that's an excuse to go to get her muffler fixed and all this stuff. Everything just works. I'm never confused as to why things are happening, which is good.
But, like, this whole movie, did you guys notice, like, all of it, like, everybody seems to be destined to be surrounded by each other. What are the odds that Allison is going to end up with the guy who gets infected by Michael? What are the odds that Laurie is going to bump into him and bring him to Allison? there are so many moving parts here that it all had to sync up perfectly to work. In the Halloween franchise, you should actually be eating that up because you've been getting that for 40 years. Even in H2O, like when you get the same like parallel scenes, like the girl looking out of the window and Michael's there in the school. 2018 when they show Allison and Laurie's out of the window. Like all these things always sync up and they always match each other and stuff like that. So like this movie has a lot of that, and I guess I'll point it out as it all keeps happening. But like even with like Laurie and the sheriff in the supermarket when they're talking. Pretty much coming up here. They're playing the Muzak version of Don't Fear the Reaper over the loudspeaker.
Oh.
What?
Oh,
wow.
Really? Oh.
I didn't realize that. I loved it when it came on later.
It's on the end, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's fucking great. I loved it.
But what are the odds of that, right? But like even everything, like Michael killing his sister on Halloween, then Michael escaping Smithsgrove on Halloween, then Michael getting transported on Halloween in 2018, you know, like, oh, and in part 4 he was transported on Halloween, you know, like yes. You gotta go with, you cannot fight this. What are you, insane? That means that you don't like any of this.
That's modern. I've been saying this for so long. The way people critique films nowadays, they're unfair to newer films and they give older films a pass. I've been saying this for years. I don't know why, but here's the part that sucks about it all. Everybody has a voice now. Everybody has a podcast or a YouTube, or they could just go online and spew it to fucking quote-unquote friends across the freaking country and the world because they can. So that's the worst part. Wouldn't it be great if people just, like...
enjoyed things? Yeah.
Right, along for the ride. Yeah, along for the ride that they would have been in the 80s if they were there, or even in the 90s for whatever generation. It's so weird, but they honestly are. They're more critical. And I've said this before, but sometimes people have talked about things in movies, and I say, you know what? If I'm able to accept Jason Voorhees in part 2 and come up with connecting the dots to why he is what he is and how he's there and everything, I should be able to accept this too. Why should I be unfair to, when I'm talking about modern movies?
Right, what's the difference?
That's correct. I'm along for the ride, man. That's movie magic. So what? You either are in it or not. But, I mean, if the story is fiction... let it be fiction. If it goes too fantastical for your liking and something that you think should be more grounded, well, then you just don't like it. But I mean, a lot of people seem a lot more accepting of it back in the day, and I don't understand the difference now. But I go with it, man. That's all I'm saying. That's what we're here for. Enjoy the ride.
Yeah, no one questions why he found Laurie in California on Halloween weekend. Like, why would that make sense?
Yeah,
or why does any of this work, right? You know, like, he woke up a year later after being fallen down a well. A year later to the day, that's okay.
Part 5.
Yeah, we're okay with that, right? Like, it's just strange. Why are you all okay with all this stuff, but suddenly you pump the brakes when new shit comes out for you guys? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I just don't get it. This is all about alignment and destiny and people just meant to be in each other's lives, and this is all supposed to happen. Laurie literally... the only reason Michael's with her in this movie is because the way all these moving parts worked. It wasn't because he looked for her. But you could consider that as great, which I kind of do. I don't know. But again, I don't want to jump ahead. I'm just like trying to paint some broad strokes here while we're doing this. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, check it. Let me ask you guys one thing. Don't you think that actually makes it all the more tragic that all these things had to sync up? Like something that happened to me at work recently. And I hurt my foot, okay? That only happened because it was a perfect storm of about 3 or 4 factors happening, and that makes it the more tragic. It's like, can you believe this happened? All this stuff had to fall into place. One little thing goes off a different way, and this doesn't go down. Isn't that crazy? And look what happened. What a shame. That's what happens here. I think that it adds to it, you know?
Yeah, I hate to pile on, but that's the actual sign of, like, good writing. Because no character is wasted, and nothing is wasted. It all flows. It all makes sense. Like if you read a book, this shit happens all the time in books. But people want to tear movies down more so because they don't make sense. But this is how you write well, and so it makes perfect sense.
Even in Misery, what are the odds that the girl's favorite author crashed his car right next to her house?
Right.
But nobody thinks that's weird. You know what I mean? Like, why? Why is that okay, though? Like, it's weird how we pick and choose these things. Sometimes you got to, like, open up the eyes to this type of stuff.
Yeah, man.
Don't be in a rush to stick it up your crack. BananaLaser will be right back.
Tonight's episode of BananaLaser is brought to you by Sundown Sacks. Are you a mongoloid? Do you have facial deformities? Or are you just plain ugly? If you answered yes to any of those questions, odds are you may just have murderous rampages as well. Once again, if the answer to that question is yes, this is what we're here for. Help us help you. We're Sundown Sacks. Murder is never easy to commit, but when you use a sack, it helps out a little bit. It makes you a more charismatic killer. Your chances of getting caught decrease. You don't want to use a potato sack. Let's face it, they smell of spuds. You don't want to use an onion sack. They make you cry, and let's face it, if you look the way you do, you've probably already done your share of crying. Some people think pillow sacks work. Pillow sacks, number one, they're played out. Number two, they slip. Some of them are transparent. It's just not something you want to do. This is where Sundown Sacks come in handy. We operate solely online, sundownsacks.com, and we have the 1-eye or 2-eye version, whatever it takes. We are 100% burlap. Satisfaction is guaranteed. We can even move one eye up an inch, down an inch, or whatever you need, depending on your deformity, for a small fee per inch. So, once again, help us help you. Sundown Sacks, sundownsacks.com.
Sundown Sacks.
BananaLaser and Sundown Sacks are not responsible for any crimes you may commit after your purchase.
Yeah, speaking to the perfect storm, and I brought this up in our 2018 review. I'm really happy that Laurie is like moved on and she seems happy and great. She bought a new house and, she's even putting up Halloween decorations and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I feel like I would move, I'm sorry. Like, what else is keeping you there? She's not like dating Frank, the cop, although they flirt real hard. Like, she definitely got wet during that conversation.
Oh, yeah.
And, Alice, your daughter and your granddaughter's mother is dead because of a murder. And you seemingly have no other family. I'd fucking at least move a town over or something. I don't know. It's just me.
I think she wants to face it head on. I think that's the way she has decided to deal with her trauma. I think she has decided that I'm not going to get over it if I go somewhere else. I'm just going to consider that running away. I think I want to face this head on in the place where it all happened and then heal myself here, because then I think I'll truly, if I can heal myself here, then I can heal myself anywhere. So that's what I think. It's like an empowering thing for her. Just a theory. I don't know.
No, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I get that.
Did you guys think it was weird when they left the supermarket, that lady put out that yellow sign that says "Caution, wet floor"?
I was surprised that Frank wasn't in the movie more. I think he's got 2 scenes, one here and one later. Because I was curious because he had such kind of a big part, in the flashback of the last movie. I thought he was going to have a bigger role to play, but he's just kind of sidelined to make it more of the family, the Strodes, and about Corey. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of that cop, I wanted to ask because since we missed, or at least I think Dave and I missed, the fact that the woman hurt with the light bulb in Halloween Kills was like the caretaker of the cemetery in 2018. Is this cop in Halloween Kills or anything? Because now that I know that they bring back all these characters and stuff, I'm constantly trying to figure out who was a character in this movie and whatnot. Was he in Halloween Kills?
I'm looking it up. I don't see him in the credits now.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised at that.
I'm surprised
I like what
Ben
they did,
Tramer is not here. Honestly.
They went against it this time.
Yeah.
They went against it this time. They said, you know what? We're going to even take the existing characters we have, like, Frank and like Lindsay, and we're going to use them sparingly, just enough that we want. We're not going to shove the nostalgia down your throat that way. It's not going to be as in your face, like Alex said.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little more subtle.
Yep.
And that's to its benefit, man.
I agree.
I mean, they even jar-jarred freaking the annoying kid from part 1
Yeah.
and a little bit in 2. It was a total Jar Jar shot, man, just like they did to Jar Jar Binks at the end of 2. He doesn't talk at all. Then you see him at the end in a funeral procession. I mean,
I don't know, man.
That's probably on purpose too.
I was hoping they were going to make him a senator. You know, I was really hoping for that. God.
That's true.
Why is he a senator in Attack of the Clones? Jesus Christ!
Just to shut him the fuck up. Here you go. God. Just take a job. Nobody cares
a
what
senator.
it is. No, fuck a senator. It means nothing in the Galactic Empire. Just go.
Yeah.
Yep. We're just gonna give you a trophy award and whatever.
Yeah. So then Allison decides to go to this party that I guess it's a party. I guess it's just a bar or whatever, but
yeah,
decides to go to this costume party with Corey, or invites him like immediately, and I forget exactly how the conversation goes, and I think he like turns it down or something at first, but I'm like, dude, are you?
He says, I don't have a costume.
I don't give a fuck.
He's just like Jimbo when he goes, no, we have no suits.
No suits. It's like, dude. Like, if a chick this hot asks you out, like, right away, you fucking say yes. Like, come on, what else do you have going on?
Yeah, and she goes, I can fix that. And he goes, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He should have been like, all right!
All right!
The most 80s moment of any movie is that, by the way. I love it so much.
And he double fist pumps. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, all right! Oh, what joy. I tell you, I want that on a t-shirt. You know, just that. All right!
BananaLaser's back. All right!
Yeah.
Right. Oh, we used it on our thing when we did our trivia game.
Yeah.
And we got the answers right.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, she dresses up as a sexy feline, I guess, or if she just wears a mask. And then he scores this scarecrow mask that I didn't think too much of, but when he starts killing later, I was like, this could be its own movie. Like the Scarecrow Mask Killer. It looks really cool. And I think whoever makes those Halloween 3 masks should start making those.
Get on that, right?
I would definitely buy one.
Don Post.
Oh, yeah.
Don Post. This guy's been dead for 60 years.
Whatever. Oh, what's that company called? Not Silver Shamrock officially. Trick or Treat Studios.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good shit. So what was I going to say about this? Okay, that's the problem people are having, what you just said, Matt.
Oh, no.
That this movie could have been about these two, but because it's the same complaint that people had, and maybe rightfully so, about the Halloween franchise, about the Hellraiser franchise after Part 4, that these were just scripts that were written to something else, and they just wedged freaking Pinhead and Cenobites into the story. That it was actually written for something else. So I think that is the complaint that people have about this, that this could have been just a cool story as something else, but not in my Halloween movie.
Right,
especially the one that ends the series, which that I do understand that part. That complaint, I will have to side with the true blue, and I'm a Halloween 78 fanboy, I admit it, but people that are even more passionate than we are about that movie, when they look at it and they see this is called Halloween Ends, they have a little bit more invested in their excitement of it, and this was not the right movie to choose to take a hard left turn in. I can understand that complaint. I'm okay with it, but I understand why some people don't like that. I'll say that.
I agree. My one thought about that, because I felt the same thing. It's like, well, yeah, you're kind of justified in, thinking like this is supposed to be a great, ending, and you tell this other kind of story about the town and this other kid, before that. So I agree with you. I had a thought the other day. I was like, well, what if they made 4 movies and this was the 3rd movie, and by the end of this movie, Corey's dead and Michael comes back at the end of this movie, and then there's an actual final movie of that people would actually like, more traditional, I guess. I would like that, That way people would feel more satisfied with a more Michael, quote, send-off. So, But yeah, I agree.
Agreed. Wow. No, Alex?
I don't know. I kind of like the whole look what this has done to Haddonfield route. And I think that they just did that really well. And then we got a whole specific vehicle of not only what has it done to Haddonfield, but what Michael has done in specifics to this one person who is tied into this Strode family. I get that complaint, sure. I didn't need another, like, same old thing, I guess. I don't know. I guess I'd rather just say what I thought, like, when I walked out of the theater at the end of this whole thing. But I feel like didn't we get enough of that in Halloween Kills? I mean, I don't know. But again, it is odd to do it on the third and final, sure. And maybe this should have been the second movie and Halloween Kills should have been the third movie. I don't know. I mean, but I guess it's what everybody just wants carnage and they want, like, Laurie Michael, Michael killing people on the way to Laurie, then killing Laurie, or whatever. And yeah, I guess, but I don't know. I just appreciated this, and I am a true Halloween fan. Although, I ripped apart a lot of these movies, like in our Versus show and all that. But Halloween is actually what got me to sit in this chair right this second. Like, that's the movie that made me who I am today. Believe it or not, the first one.
I know that. Yeah, I know. And we're not too far. Well, I could tell you this, Alex. I'm right with, like, I like Halloween 78 more than I like any Friday the 13th movie.
Right.
Granted, it's real close.
We all said that.
Part 2 is in my top 5.
Yeah.
So we are lovers of fucking Halloween 78.
Right.
For sure.
And I'm a lover of 2, and I really like 4, and I love 3, and I really, really like H2O, and I really like Rob Zombie's 2, and I really like, I like enough of it to consider myself a real fan, and I know everything. Isn't that a lot? Right. Isn't that a lot different than a normie who doesn't know anything? I mean, I know everything. So, and I've watched hundreds of hours of documentaries. What else do I have to do? Get a fucking tattoo? Like, I think I'm sitting here staring at NECA figures of fucking Michael, Laurie, and Dr. Loomis in front of me. Like, what else do I have to do? And I'm Michael Myers every year for Halloween. So, I don't know. I think I am the guy to ask, like, what are you thinking? Is this good enough or whatever? And I don't feel the way most people do. I don't know. So, I'm not sure that being a true fan or being obsessed or whatever it is the key to figuring out whether this is the proper way to go. I think it's just, it's who we are and what we need out of a Halloween movie. I don't know. It's a lot. It's why I don't want to get into that kind of thing, because it's like, it's so subjective, and I could see everyone's point of view, but I just didn't share it.
Especially because this film is actually done well. Like, if this was part 5, we'd be like, yeah, I don't know. Because, they could have done this storyline in part 5 with Jamie Lloyd, sort of. And they probably did try to do that and then scrapped it.
Right.
Yeah, so Corey freaks out at this party. I think primarily because the mother of the boy that he killed is there. And she gives him grief, just like everyone else. And then he starts a fight with Allison, unfortunately, but, I kind of get it, because he blames her for maybe just taking sympathy onto him, like a lost puppy or something, so he's not looking at her actions being genuine in any way. And why would he, if he's been bullied for the past 3 years by literally everyone? Then it would be really hard to, like, open up with someone or think that someone wouldn't be lying to you about why they want to spend time with you and stuff. So,
see, I thought he freaked out because Nick Castle flashed him.
Was that Nick Castle?
Yeah.
What? Wow, dude.
Doesn't he say something interesting to him? What does he say?
Yeah, he says, "You see anything you like?"
That's it.
Yep.
And then he showed him his cock.
I wish.
Nick Castle's cock. Better than Dick Warlock's, that's for sure.
Cock Warlock.
God.
Dick Warcock.
Warcock.
I don't know. Dick Warlock is like a pretty perfect name. Like, if I had a son, I'd be like Dick Warlock Wessel.
That should be a porn star. Dick Warlock would be a great name for like an 80s porn star. Don't you think that would have fit in?
Yeah. Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like Peter North, Dick Warlock.
Yeah, I think he was a background character in Boogie Nights. Yeah.
Hey, cool kid. What's up? Where you going? There you are, man. I've been looking for you.
Terry.
I want to apologize. Okay?
Jesus Christ.
So what do you say, Corey, huh? How about this? Handshakes and friendship.
Don't leave him hanging, dude.
What is your problem with this kid?
This guy fucked up the LeBaron.
Hell yeah.
Dollar store designer friend?
Oops.
Hey, let me help you out. Come on.
Are you okay?
Whoa, get the fuck back!
Hey,
Get back! Get back!
I'm just trying to help.
Get back! You gonna murder us same way you killed that kid?
You little psycho bitch.
You don't know what you're talking about! You don't know what you're talking about!
You just act like a goddamn asshole because your father treats you like one. It's contagious, right?
What did you just say to me?
That's right. I know what it looks like when somebody hates you. When your father fucking hates you.
He hates me?
Billy.
He hates me, huh? He
Hey.
hates me, right?
Billy, knock it off. Billy.
He hates me?
Billy.
Shit!
Oh my God. Terry, what did you do?
He fell.
Well, Dick busted it.
Is he dead? Go down and look.
You go down and look. I didn't push nobody. He fell.
Bullshit. He fell?
Yeah, that's my story. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, so they split, and Cunningham is walking home, and the bullies find him, pull up, and happen to be at that same overpass. This is the part to me where, watching it in a theater, where it clicked that it's Christine. Well, this and the next scene, I guess, but the fact that the kids break his glasses took me right to that scene.
Yes.
And Christine. That was the moment where I'm like, oh, yeah. Because that crunch in Christine is so satisfying. I love that moment. From then on, he's like a changed person. And I'm like, oh, they're doing Christine. Especially after, well, they fucking push him off the fucking overpass. He doesn't break a bone, surprisingly.
Wait, did you guys realize he never puts glasses back on the rest of the movie?
The second time I watched it, I did, yeah.
I noticed it right away because I wear glasses now. So it's like, yeah. I don't know what he's going to think. You know what I mean? Because I'm in that world. I'm like, I wonder how he's going to react to that. And I'm like, he flipped the fuck out. Okay, well, I guess someone has real bad eyesight. Good. I mean, I'm fine without my glasses. I just can't read some close-up things. But, I mean, I know some people, man, they fucking, they have to have their glasses on.
Yeah, I can't see my cock without them.
I can't see mine either way, so...
I can't see yours with them.
That's why I like to fuck little kids. So, everything's big in their hands.
Yeah, suddenly you feel like a stud when this little kid's grabbing it, right?
God. I'm going to jail. So,
Yep.
Jeremy spoken.
So this is my, I guess the first, I don't know how to take it kind of scene, and that's where he gets drug into the pipe, I guess by Michael, and then he wakes up, and then Michael comes out of a crack in the wall. I think this is the first time we see him. He's been living in a crack, still has that mask on. That thing is got to be fucking disgusting at this point.
Yeah, why are you wearing that alone in this place?
That's why. Oh man, I just figured he's got to smell so bad
terrible.
that he has to be hidden in a fucking sewer.
Yeah, they'll
Where
smell
else
him
could
a
he
mile
go?
away.
They would. Yeah, they'd smell his ass, so he's got to get someone else to do his killing for him. Wow.
Was the Myers house above that where they were? Because they demolished, right? So was it above that or no?
Wow.
I'm just kidding, dude. I'm totally just kidding because of Resurrection.
Okay. I'm like,
I thought, didn't they
so.
destroy it in this movie? Didn't they say that in the beginning?
Yeah. I was just trying to put all together and make a joke. But.
Again. Yeah.
Oh man, it would have been amazing if it were true.
It all makes
and
sense.
To Christine, how about the end of the movie with Michael? And I'll just leave it at that for now. But that's another Christine thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The way he's disposed of, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay. Michael grabs him. He's struggling. And obviously Michael is, and we'll see it even more later, he can't do shit, basically. He has almost no strength to him. He's taken down very easily. But we get this moment where they lock eyes. There's like flashes, and you see kind of Cunningham's life and stuff. And it's like, what? So what's happening here? Are we transferring the evil? Does he recognize the troubled person who has an anger in him? Does he even let him go, or does he like break free? I don't really know how to take this scene.
He lets him go. I'll tell you that.
You think he lets him go? Okay.
I'll tell you why. Because later on, he asks Allison. He says, "Did you escape Michael, or did he let you go?" Oh, yeah. That only makes sense why he'd be curious about that.
Oh, interesting.
That's what I got out of it. That he let him go, and so I'm guessing that he saw the evil in him. The evil, you know what I mean?
The rage.
Yeah.
This force. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt. I'm sorry, you have to bring that back. I mean, just find any word. I don't give a fuck where you put it, but just put it somewhere.
I got it, yeah.
Thank you. Like, what the fuck is going on? I have to hear rage in these things.
This house is sacred to him. He has all his memories here. His rage. 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 It was pure evil.
Yeah, that was the first scene where now I'm like, okay, well now I guess I'm like everyone else and I have to process this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I was okay with it in the beginning. I was like, all right, you know what? I love this so far. Let's just see where it goes, because you got to remember, we're 40 minutes in now.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the music they played and the flashes and the pain, and I love that stuff. And at that point, you don't really know what's happening. So now all your question is, so Michael can see this? Because you don't know that he actually infected this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, you're just wondering what you're looking at. So we all hate that stuff, right? Like, we hate, I think the only thing Matt liked was when, like, Jamie, like, was putting the mask on the same time Michael was, like, with her hands, just, like, mimicking what he was doing in Halloween 5 and all that kind of stuff. And we kind of didn't like it when Laurie was eating, where he was eating the dog and Laurie was throwing up or whatever. And we didn't like it when she said cookie woman and all that stuff. So now it's like, so wait a minute, you're bringing that stuff into this? So it's like, how do I like this? So then it's like, well, where are we going with it? Let's see how it plays out. I actually thought it was really interesting that like Corey was corrupted by malevolent supernatural force. Like, that is really interesting. And I also love the idea that Michael is like this, all broken down, because it kind of gave me the vibe from like Dark Knight Rises, which is not a good movie, but I did like when Christian Bale came out when Catwoman was robbing him and he was like in a cane and everything and he could barely walk, and being Batman for X amount of years fucked him up so bad that now he could hardly walk. And, like, it gave me that kind of vibe. Like, there's the third movie in this one now, and now Michael's so fucked up and broke it down. Laurie talking about, like, with every kill he does, the stronger he becomes or whatever it is. So people are like, well, wait a minute, then he should be fucking like Superman. He just killed, like, 40 people. Why is he all crippled up and messed up here? Well, he also got pretty fucked up in those two movies, so maybe maybe those kills are the only reason he's even alive. Like, he should be dead. So, it's not going to make him Superman, it's just going to keep him alive. And now, he hasn't had any killings for like 4 years, except for that one on the billboard. You see that a girl was missing like last Halloween. So maybe he kills and drips and drabs, whatever. But nothing to like make him whatever. So, I kind of like this whole thing. And let's face it, it is weird. Everyone makes jokes. Michael's 65 years old or whatever. The evil, it's going to outlive the human body. It's like, it's an interesting thing to, like, the evil just travel through different vehicles. And we hate Jason Goes to Hell, so of course we're not going to be on board with that either. And I don't want to see a Corey Cunningham movie, with Michael's mask on. I don't, even though I love Corey. But, so, there's a lot to juggle here, and there's a lot to unpack and process, and it's like, I don't know, but I get it. But we ultimately don't have to worry about all that because we know the ending.
Mm-hmm.
Can you fix this for me? Can you fix this for
I'll
me?
try.
Because this is my problem. This is where you and I differ on this. To me, if you're going supernatural, you can't go supernatural and reality-based. So for me to say Michael is beat up because of everything that happened at the end of, Kills and everything else, which I agree with that. That it's 4 years later and he's beat up from it and he's 65 now, he's older. To me, that's like saying, okay, now I'm basing this in realism. It's not supernatural because if he was supernatural, why would he get beat down at all? Wouldn't he just be this force? You know what I mean? Wouldn't he? So that's the problem that I'm having with the movie. Like I wish they would have chosen to go one way or the other. It's too reality based to say, well, he was beat up, this and that. He had to recuperate and get. But then you're saying, okay, well, it's a supernatural force that's inside him that he's going to pass on to
Right,
Corey,
the body can't
or what
sustain,
have you.
right.
Yeah, so that's the thing I'm having difficulty with, and I want to be able to commit and say, okay, this is it, and this is the reason for. Because if that is the case, now this movie goes up just ever so slightly for me, because that's one of the problems because I felt like it was I'm watching it. Like exactly what you said. I'm digging it so far. Where's it going to go here? I hope he had a good explanation. Why did he let this kid go and what's going on? And that is just how I felt. I'm like, okay, well, let's wait and see. I want to see how this is going to go because I like the story we have here, and this is cool. And ultimately, I, like a lot of other people that are complaining, have difficulty accepting that because I don't think it's fair to say you can have both. It should be one or the other. So...
well, I am not a fan of, in this movie, kind of what Dave was saying, transferring like an evil, supernatural thing. I don't think it fits in this, even though Michael got almost, pretty much obliterated and still kept getting up and doing stuff. And I think that they just, like game, recognize game kind of thing. That's how I want to see it. I think the filmmakers did it in such a way that you can just whatever you think is what happened, which is probably the smartest way to go. In doing that, now it sparks this big debate about, what is the source of evil and is it, contagious? All questions that this movie is bringing up. And in a way it is, but is it necessarily passing the baton that this kind of symbolizes in this moment? I just take it as Michael sees this guy and at the same time he sees him and recognizes who he is. And so they just come to some kind of, or maybe just Michael comes to just some kind of understanding, well, I'm going to let this guy go. It's not worth it.
Living is worse than dying, probably, for this kid, right?
Yeah, probably. And how he necessarily knows that, not entirely for sure. But like I said, whenever you meet someone who has very similar personality traits as you, there's kind of an unspoken thing. When you have that instant connection with someone.
Like us.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of see it that way overall in this series. Now, with the Thorn trilogy, it's easier to accept like a supernatural thing because, they obviously bring in a lot of that shit in part 6 and whatnot and 5
and 4. Look at Jamie Lloyd at the end of part 4.
And that made sense because they're relatives. That's the problem with if you just want to say that, if Corey was somehow a relative of his, then it could be a little bit, I could give it a little more of a pass. But ultimately, my problem is that it's non-committal. I don't want it to be non-committal because I'm a defender of it. And I feel like it's tough for me to defend it when I myself can't give a clear
you
cut
can't
answer.
even
You get what I'm saying?
vocalize what right. I would go back, I'd harken back to all of Loomis's speech in Halloween 1. How many times did people try to tell him, what are you talking about? It's just a little kid. He just killed his sister, and Loomis insisted this is evil on 2 legs. There is a darkness in this kid's eyes. He sees through the wall, past the wall, to this very night, a supernatural force inside him biding its time. He's already telling you that Michael is not a human. He wouldn't even call it him. He calls it it. So you got to take all that stuff, and you got to say, well, let's take this source material and apply it to this movie. So now it kind of does make sense, right? So Michael has this force inside of him, and we all know evil is infectious. People born not evil most of the time. I mean, unless you're like a psychopath or whatever. But you could easily get caught up in things politically or in the military or whatever, and all of a sudden something just clicks in you, and then you become like a killing machine or an animal or whatever. Like, this stuff is infectious, and if the path you chose in life was something else, you would have never turned into this type of machine or animal or whatever. So this stuff does infect you, and if we're going with supernatural right away, you can't get shot 6 times, get stabbed in the neck, get stabbed in the heart, whatever Laurie did to him, get stabbed in the eye, and just simply get up, turn over, look at her, go over and choke her, or get shot off the thing, and just disappear. Like, you just don't do that. So there already is a supernatural thing going on, and they just applied it to this movie. They wanted to show what this did to Haddonfield and what the evil itself of Michael can do to someone else. Having him totally tied in with the Strode family really brings it right to your front doorstep. So it's like kind of like the best of both worlds, and like bring it together and doing something with this. I mean, aren't you glad they didn't go with the window thing again? They kind of dropped the whole thing about him staring at the window, right? So that's good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. And aren't you glad, Matt, that freaking when it ended and Laurie was charging at the screen for the big face-off, that
thank
didn't
God.
happen?
Yes.
I know. The completely opposite direction.
Yeah.
Right. And she charged at the screen, and yet the result of that was Laurie went to therapy, stopped drinking, blah, 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 and now she's a totally different person.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. They dropped it.
But I like that for it. See, people complain. Some people complain saying, I wanted to see the moment when she found out her daughter died. Because what I was saying was this. Because she lost her daughter, right? It makes sense to me that was the nail in the coffin for her. That's when she was like, okay, because of my actions, my daughter, my son-in-law, other people are dead now. There's hysteria in this town. All this stuff is going on because of stuff that I helped create. So now I want to protect my granddaughter. She's all I have left. And I want to save myself, and Michael's gone. So why... Now is the time to let it go. When she heard about her daughter dying, that crushes her. That changes a person's freaking...
Yeah, they just don't even want to do this anymore. They're just like, I don't even want nothing to do with this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you took everything, I want out. And they actually want to remove this whole aspect of their life at that point. So that is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's what I love about the movie, is just like H2, what this movie is a reflection on what happened with the prior events and what happens afterwards. And it's great for it. That's the, what do you call it? That's the theme of this movie, and that's what I figured out, that each movie had its own theme. And I don't know what we said last time, but I don't know if I said that I thought this was planned from the beginning, or I thought it wasn't. But I didn't think it was. Okay, well, I will tell you this. I don't know if it was, but now that this one come out, it just seems like I see a pattern of themes in each movie. The 2018, pardon me, was about obsession. Laurie's obsession, the obsession of Zatarain, the whole friggin' thing.
Sartain. You guys keep on calling him Zatarain.
I love that name. Zatarain, you know what that is, right?
No.
It's fucking, it's frozen foods. Right?
It's Narland's food, yeah.
Yeah, it's, what do you call it? I used to have the, what do you call it? What's that shit that they, fettuccine Alfredo. Fucking chicken Alfredo from Zatarain's. So anyway, the second movie is about hysteria and the results of, and that's obvious. People say it was too preachy, but the way I look at it, that is hysteria. Shit like that does fucking happen. And this movie is about trauma and the passing on of evil. Because evil is passed on in life. as a metaphor, yes. But honestly, I think that evil really is the thing. So, like I said, isn't even a metaphor. When somebody's abused, they may abuse somebody else. When someone, you know what I mean? Evil just keeps getting passed on. So that's what I think's going on here. So I think that they maybe the people behind this had these plans from the start to make it this type of, almost like an anthology of 3 different things, but starring, but
the
putting
same
these
characters,
people's
same
stories.
storyline. Yeah.
Starring Michael Myers.
Laurie Strode.
This week, the part of Michael Myers was played by 3 assholes.
And edited by him, too.
John Carpenter's Halloween.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that makes sense, tying it back to Loomis in part 1. You're right. They didn't, inject anything outside of what was already a basis in the original film. So that's smart. Yeah, that makes
I just
sense.
wish his body didn't break down, because then you're having both instead of just having it supernatural. You know what I mean?
Here's how I take that is, and I get it, the human body can not resist some of this stuff. But as we see later, when Michael does his first kill, he has a killgasm, essentially.
Yes. Yeah,
and
he does.
And so I take that as doing anything that you're satisfied with. He has nothing in his life, literally 0. He doesn't go to ball games or whatever, eat chili dogs and shit. But when you're like a normal person and you do something fun, creative, satisfying, hell, you go to the beach, you're filled with, joy, and you're revitalized. If you sit at home all the time, don't do shit, it's a non-motivator. When you do something positive that you love, like killing someone, it's a motivator to get back up and keep doing it. Now, is that a 1-to-1 ratio? But that's the only way I kind of look at it.
That's cool. No, that's cool. I mean, yeah, it works. I just wish it was, you know what I'm saying? I wish I could.
Yeah, you want the definitive answer from the filmmakers. Yeah. So you could say yes or no. And who knows? At this point, I'm sure they've done, at least the director's done a lot of interviews and stuff. Maybe he's talked about this somewhere. Or maybe he's dodged it altogether. I don't know. We'll probably
maybe
find
he'll
out.
Do a director's commentary. Well, they never do them anymore, but it would be nice if he did for
Yeah, they don't. I know. It's terrible.
I don't know why. It is terrible.
Because there's no money in Blu-rays. So that's why.
Not like there used to be. That's true.
Yeah, it's all streaming, so there's no money in it. So speaking of changes, I called him Mini Mike after this whole thing for the rest of the movie. But Mini Mike kills this, this homeless guy, this houseless guy, sort of by accident, I assume, because he kind of attacks him. Then just runs off. First he throws the knife away, which, I mean, yeah, I know it's a homeless guy. They're probably not going to look for the killer too hard, but wouldn't you take the knife and throw it in the river, the Haddonfield River or something?
They're not going to look for the killer too hard?
Well, I mean, that's the kind of shit that usually happens in towns. Yeah. But yeah, so at this point he's definitely changed. And I think he goes to see Allison, and right away, Laurie is instantly scared of him. She sees the change in him instantly. And I think this is where she starts talking about it's in the eyes. I saw it in his eyes, just like Loomis said. So that ties it more so back to the first one, which is really good. And
the devil's eyes.
Yeah, I think it's around this time we get that nice callback of she sees him out the window and he's by the bush staring up like a fucking he is a psychopath at this point. Who stands like that outside of a house?
Yeah. I was watching that last night. I'm like, let me try to see why he's doing this exactly. So he parked his motorcycle and he just stood there.
Right, like at least go to the porch and
ring the doorbell.
Ring the doorbell, dude. Like,
what did you guys think? How he just popped up behind Lori?
Oh, that seemed like a Jason teleportation moment. Definitely. It's like, oh hey. I think on Peacock they got a little behind the scenes thing, or saw it somewhere. Maybe it was on YouTube, but you can actually see footage of them filming that moment. And he's literally just crouched like right behind her, and then he pops up. Yeah, you see it from a different angle. It's kind of funny.
Oh, you know what that was, right? That scene?
Oh.
Why they did that?
It's like Sheriff Brackett.
Yeah, just like Brackett and Laurie in 78.
I didn't think about that until you said it. Wow.
Wow.
You see, if this was Halloween Kills, he would have said everyone's entitled to one good scare.
Thank God.
Right.
Jesus.
So, do you see, now, Dave, do you see how you were like, man, this is for us. You don't like that? And my answer is, no, I like this stuff.
I like this stuff better, but I still like that stuff.
Right.
That's all. But I get what you're saying. It's better when it's subtle. Like,
Yeah.
did you notice the way the two ran upstairs to screw was just the way he did it in 78?
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah,
Little things.
Hopefully you
some
lasted
were
longer.
in your face and some were not.
Mhm.
Yeah, they definitely lasted longer.
Yeah.
Who
Oh,
couldn't?
yeah, man. Corey's a fucking stud, dude.
Oh, yeah. Cuntingham. They call him Cuntingham for a reason. Dude slays.
He eats cunts like ham.
He eats cunts like ham.
He gets down in there, man.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, they love him
a
for
fork and a knife and everything, man. That's great. His foreplay lasted longer than this other dude's sex.
it. Yeah, when he's cunting ham.
It wouldn't be
good.
too hard, yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't even get through the alphabet on this chick before it was over with these other two.
The alphabet, Jesus.
How do you do? You just spell the out. Just say things in there.
Yeah,
just write your
that's what
name.
we all do, right? Yeah.
Say you are a whore.
I mean, I'm usually thinking that the whole time, so yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So then they run off to the diner, and I think this is the part where, and maybe not, but it's somewhere around here, and it's a real like. It really threw me off the first time, but he admits to Allison, it might be after the diner, but he says, I killed someone. And then they just leave. And I was like, holy shit, she's still going with him?
I know why. See, at first I was like startled by it, and then they took hands and they went away. But I think it was him admitting to her and saying it out loud that he killed a little boy, even though it was an accident.
Yep.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
nice.
I think so, too.
So she was proud of him for saying that out loud. Like, even though it was an accident, he still faced it instead of, being ashamed. Not that you shouldn't be ashamed, but you know what I mean.
Yep. So she thought he meant Jeremy. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, we're smart.
Yeah. SMRT. Yeah, so, yeah.
I'm trying to think, but nothing happens.
You told me that you want to burn it down. Or you told me you want to burn it down.
Hey, twice in 1 week. Pretty cool. I diggity. Hey, you said you were gonna call. You were gonna call, but you didn't call.
No, I owe you a call.
Did I do something wrong?
I'm with someone.
Oh. Oops. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for the intrusion. Well, it's Joe Grillo's. Hey, Joe. Hey. Joe Grillo's birthday today. And Joe Ross, he made a sponge cake. You two want to stop by and get a slice after whatever you guys are doing.
Good.
Okay, you're good? Well, let me tell you, it's change your mind.
She said we're good.
Hey, buddy, you got a problem?
We're good.
Oh, shit. Allison. So you call Mr. Aggravated Manslaughter at night when you can't sleep? When you see the boogeyman in your nightmares, you feel safe with this guy? Messing around. Gals? Nah. Psycho.
Good, Mulaney?
It's all good, it's all good.
When are you gonna kick somebody today?
No, I got this.
The fucking 50-year-old cop who somehow got this 24-year-old chick. Good for him, because he's a real ass.
It's like Dan Chalice, right?
Oh, yeah, well...
Yeah, oh, wow.
Hey, Dan Chalice was smooth, though.
It is.
This
Her
guy.
dad died, too, just like her dad died.
Oh, shit.
Think about that. See? Dead dads equal older men having... Oh, it's the father figure.
Yeah. Daddy
Boom.
issues, yeah.
I hope this guy put peanut butter on his penis so she could lick it off.
I hope she wasn't a robot like Ellie. like Ivan Drago.
If only he was drinking Miller High Life at the diner, it would have been awesome.
Holy shit.
He looks like the villain from Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah.
I
I
gotta
remember
watch
that
this
guy.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
With the ponytail, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and he's just going in hard on Allison. It's like, this guy gives no shits, you know. I guess because he's a cop. I don't know many cops, but I know some people that I graduated with who were assholes who became cops. And so it makes sense that, you know.
That's funny. I know some guys that I went to high school with that became cops and then became assholes after that.
Oh, the authority. The authority changed them? Yeah, fuck that.
Evil's infectious, I told you.
Ooh,
it's true.
Boy, the power, absolute power, corrupts.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the part where they leave and she's like, hey, do you want to come in? And he's like, another night. I'm like, what? What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, go upstairs with her and lay some pipe.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? I don't know.
He's gone, man. He is gone. He's infected.
He already killed the homeless guy. And I think he wants to spend time with her, but he also wants to go back to Michael. He's like, you know, kind of got two loves at this point, maybe.
He's like Tommy Jarvis in Jason Lives.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. She keeps on like hitting on him, and he's just
Right.
not seeing it. It's the same exact comparison.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Wow, that's amazing. I forget exactly how they get there, but the cop follows him down there to kick his ass, I guess, and follows him into a sewer pipe. Like, I would call it there. I would wait till the next day, I think, and not go into a dark sewer pipe under an overpass just to beat somebody up who challenged you at a fucking diner.
Well, you know what happened, Matt? The guys he was sitting with coaxed him. They were like, kick his ass, Seabass!
Yeah. Who hit me with a goddamn salt? Yeah.
Who's the dead man who hit me with a salt shaker?
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys think that? Did you guys at any time think the bum may have been Michael Myers? Because I thought it was, and honestly, I hoped it was. I hoped it was the first time I saw him, and then I hoped it was later on when he said, "I'm Michael Myers." I remember looking at my daughter saying, "You know what? I'm Michael Myers, you fucking son of a bitch." I hope it was. This is what I'm telling you, legit. This is what I thought for about a minute, because it goes back to my mask theory that I talked about on the Kill Show, saying I hope it's just all about the mask, which would have worked just as well in my opinion. But anyway, I thought that maybe he was Michael Myers, and this other guy took his mask, and because he took the mask, he had the power over him and beat the shit out of him.
And he started talking finally. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and Michael, the bum, is out there waiting for this guy to slip up so he could take his mask back. That's legit for a second. That's what I hoped the movie was going to go
Jesus.
to. Because at that time, anything could have worked. I mean, why not?
You hoped it went there, but you're asking me to fill in the blanks with this other thing?
Well, because it's more real life. Well, not real life. It's
Yeah, with a magic mask.
the fact that he turns into a bum, I like it. Just like the way he did in H2.
Rob Zombie, yeah.
And we said it then. We said that would happen. He wouldn't shave. He would just roam the land like a fucking a nomad with a fucked up brain, because that's what he was. That's what I'm saying. So for a moment there, I was like, man, I kind of hope they go in this direction. Okay, honestly, without it being a joke, Do you guys think this movie would be better received if that was the case and they just went with the mask being supernatural the whole time?
Right, so if Corey went into that tunnel, Michael, for whatever reason, was doing something and it didn't have the mask on, and Corey just picked it up and put it on, and then he was Michael, would people be okay with that?
More so than they are with it now. Yeah.
I don't
But hold on, let me take it a step further. Then Michael, the bum that's outside, fucking gets it from Corey because he's younger. He fucking trips him up on the bike, throws something in the spokes or some shit, gets it back, and now Michael comes back. This bum puts the mask on, and he actually is the real life Michael Myers, the original one that had the mask on. How about that?
I don't think.
No.
I think people would see it as Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah.
I think they already do, so it don't matter. Everyone keeps saying Jason Goes to Hell and fucking, what do you call it, Part 5.
Halloween 5, yeah.
No, Friday 5. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right, Friday 5, yeah.
Fake fucking Jason.
Right.
Fake Michael, you know?
I think the fact that there's another killer in this at all, regardless if it was Allison, Lori, the band kids, anybody, that's where you have a problem with it. And the fact that it takes 40 minutes to get to Michael, it's like...
I didn't even notice those 40 minutes. They went by like that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
It made sense because he's on the lam. He hasn't been seen in 4 years. Why should we see him right away? We should be along for the ride, saying, "Fuck, where's Michael and when's he gonna pop up?" We should be a little nervous about it.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
That motherfucker should have stolen a car, be driving up the coast right now, chilling. Honestly, he can drive, so...
True, on the way to Cali. Fucking
yeah, exactly. He should take off. What is he doing? Jesus Christ,
show up to
Michael.
that school and kill Michelle Williams and friends, and there you go.
They tore your house down. Fucking get out of town.
Get the fuck out of Dodge!
Okay, Alex, which Laurie now do you like better? Who's the most badass Laurie? The one from this trilogy or the one from H2O?
Well,
you're thinking about it. That tells me enough.
Yeah, no, I really think this was an amazing Laurie. I really do.
Happy to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And what about you, Matt? I know you liked H2O Laurie more than I did.
I do, but the fact that we get, and discarding Resurrection, because that I don't feel like that counts. We get, like Alex was saying, more meat here, and so you really see a wide range of Laurie, which I think is just way better at explaining her character and just, a human trials and emotions that you would go through in something like this. So I definitely like this much better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mentioned Michael has a killgasm, which I rewound that like a few times. I couldn't. I thought it was awesome. He like stands up straighter. It's like amazing. But I think Corey says something like "Show me how to do it" or something like that,
Show
which
me,
is
yeah.
kind of interesting. Yeah, show me. Yeah, just like in Christine.
Show me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wow. I will say this. I thought there was just one scene missing from this movie. Why does Corey go back there and just kind of assume Michael's going to do this and that he's going to be okay with you holding this guy and stabbing him and just saying, "Show me," and doing that and it all working out? Shouldn't there have been a scene between this? So he sees him, he sees the eye thing, then he goes back, and Michael looks over and he sees Corey, and then just looks back to where he was looking before Corey got there to establish that he's not going to harm Corey. Then Corey can talk to Michael and kind of exchange something of establishing something between the two of them. Therefore, Corey would then feel comfortable to go and lure this guy in there and do this kind of thing. Now, I'm not saying Michael should have spoken back to him, but I feel like Corey should have had some kind of monologue with Michael just talking, saying something, like transferring some information here, or I don't know. There had to be some exchange, I feel like, between the two of them before Corey just goes over and says, "Show me," and all that stuff. I feel like we're missing a scene here. Do you guys feel that way? Like, if something was there in between, this would have all kind of, gelled a little bit better?
I feel like yes, I agree, because I feel like we're missing a scene after this, because I think after this they go and kind of tag team the doctor and the nurse.
Right, and how did that come about?
Exactly. It's like, yeah, did he walk out of there going, come on, come with me, or something like, did Mini Mike just want to kill the doctor, and because he was an asshole Allison, I guess? Okay, I guess that...
How come there wasn't a scene where he's like, he recognizes that Michael just stood up erect, and he got stronger with that kill, and he goes, I have more for you. And then he brings him there, and then he kind of uses Michael to get revenge on everyone he wants to kill.
Yeah.
And that way, it serves both purposes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think that scene would be good. I do feel there's something missing in between that and him going to say, show me. And I also think what they should have done, Allison should have had a conversation with Corey. And in the conversation kind of allude to what just happened at the job. Like she was bitching about that girl dead.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened. Now he's got a reason to kill them both because he loves her. You know what I mean? Not that she put him up to it, but you know how it is. You see this in movies where someone just says something and the psycho's going to take those words and say, okay, well, I'm going to kill them for you and you'll love me. Mm-hmm. Or you know what I mean? So
we see it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Jesus Christ, I didn't want you to kill the fucking guy. Things like that happen all the time, yeah. Or I feel like they do. They really don't, but they feel like they do.
Maybe that scene happened and they cut it.
Probably cut scene.
They trimmed it for, for the running time, which would have been a mistake. But it almost legit seems. Don't you think it would have made so much more sense? Both of those scenes. Him going back and saying, "Show me," and then him to have a reason to go to that house to kill those two. Besides the fact that the guy's short-tempered and she's sleeping with him for his job, and they're bad people, so let's see him get killed.
Right.
Which is way too basic.
It's not Michael just doing random kills. Now, of course, you could say, well, it's not really so random in Halloween Kills because they went after him. That's why. And Tommy Doyle isn't random, and Brackett's not random, or whatever. But you could say things like that. But then there are tons of kills that are random in a roundabout way, whether it be the firemen or whatever. But I guess it's not random. They're there to put the house out of being on fire. But don't you get so much more satisfaction from revenge kills, just like Christine?
Oh, yeah.
These are all kills for a reason. Aren't you fucking glad he killed those band kids? Aren't you glad he killed the fucking doctor and that bitch? Aren't you glad he killed the cop who was like doing what he did at the diner or whatever? Like these are all, and the DJ, like these are all great revenge things, and that fucking mom and stuff. Like this is, that's awesome. Like I don't get anything out of him killing the people in Part 4 Halloween. I don't want you to kill Bucky.
Right. Fan favorite Bucky, right.
Yeah, right. Like, I get much more satisfaction out of this.
Mm-hmm.
So you want the characters to either be assholes or you love them. You don't just want throw on the screen characters just to be red shirts.
No.
Is what you're saying.
Well, no. And I don't think that's that hard to do.
Some kind of motivation as to why they should be killed, as opposed to just randos. Yeah.
Right.
But then you get a lot of people complaining, saying that they're sick. And I've said this myself. I'm sick of seeing assholes in all movies nowadays. Like, everybody ends up being like an anti-hero. Once upon a time, like, when you like watch a slasher now, the teens are like usually assholes. You're like, man, I'm just tired of these fucking characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like that type of thing. So there's two ways to look at it. But I also believe that you, Alex, also do watch some movies and say, yeah, these characters are assholes. But, I mean, you still do get joy when you see them killed. But you'd probably rather have them be characters you like from the early Friday films or the early Halloween.
Let's just say that percentage-wise, we've gotten, let's just say in the whole world of horror, 10% have been assholes and 90% have been random people, right?
In past, yes. But nowadays,
I don't mind it creeping to the 50-50 mark.
Okay.
Like even the movie, what's that one with Charles Bronson? What are those movies called?
Death Wish.
Death Wish, yeah. Right. Isn't that great?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just the POV of the film. In this movie, we have the POV of the killer, with Cunningham and the Strodes or whatever. So there's no room to like any of the other characters. And Friday 2, you like all the counselors because that's who you spend the most time with. So It's a POV thing, I think. So he kills, and now the kills start, finally, I guess, which I've been fine with. I know a lot of people complain about it, but they're starting... We gotten so many fucking kills in the last movie. It's like, if all you want is kills, you can watch a fucking highlight reel, So I don't like people complaining about that. I do like again, another homage, but I think it's done well, of Michael... one of his first kills back is pinning that woman to the wall. I thought that was really good. And then I think after this is when he goes to see Allison again. They're up on the roof of that radio station. And they're talking about their plans. Let's leave town. Let's burn it down. That kind of thing. I like the match. Very Bonnie and Clyde. Or actually, Dave, you'd like this. It made me think of Mickey and Mallory, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Definitely.
Yeah. And I think it's at this point, I didn't notice this until the second or third time, because it might have been ADR, her face is not on screen, but she says to him, Allison says she felt a connection to him instantly after seeing his story, or hearing about his story or something. It's like one line in there that happens really quick. And again, her face isn't on screen, so I think they just kind of threw that in there to give her even more reasoning, motivation to go off with him. And I think that's true. You hear stories about people, regardless of what the story is, you maybe have an opinion or become infatuated with them and things like that. So I kind of dug that. And he also talked about coming up there throughout the years, dream about escaping or killing himself or something like that. So they plan their whole, let's leave town, and they split at this point. And then we get our first taste of the DJ.
What the hell is going on out here? Yo, this is private property, not safe to be doing whatever the hell you do. Corey Cunningham, what you doing out here, you ugly motherfucker?
Corey, stop it.
You gonna scare all the kids.
You stop.
I don't know who the fuck you talking to, but I know who you are. Yeah, I know the Laurie Strode story. She teased a man with brain damage and then he snapped. Look at you. You gonna make a little name for yourself now, huh? Walking around with this dumb bitch right here.
Never shut up. Hear his voice everywhere.
Oh, you goddamn right you do. And once Willie get in your ear, it's like your favorite song stuck in your head. Y'all get the hell up off my property before I fuck y'all up.
Which we heard in the opening, which I didn't talk about, but as soon as that came on, it was so jarring.
Yes.
I didn't know what to expect, and I instantly got Barry Sims vibes,
Yep.
Which was great.
Hello, Haddonfield.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But a weird start. Like I leaned over and I told my daughter, literally these were my words. This is not how you start a Halloween movie. That's what I told her.
Oh, wow. See, I was all for it. It was jarring in the beginning. Because while this is happening, they're still showing, logos, like the Bloomhouse, and they show, Michael standing in a window or something in the anime.
Yeah, it was odd.
Yeah, and I was like, what, is this part of the movie? I just kind of got confused. And then it kicked on, and I was like, yeah, see, this is what I want. I want to experience Haddonfield itself and listen to the radio stations and see the town and see the people and see the carnage and what it left behind.
Ooh, Alex, you know why you
good.
love it. There's another reason why you love it. It's just like the intro to fucking your favorite Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Same type of vibe, right?
Yeah.
You're feeling Crystal Lake, you're talking about, and you're feeling New York, Yeah.
Matt, I know you're like, we got to get through this movie.
Oh, no, it's fine.
I know we're terrible.
I know, we're horrible. Let me just say two things real quick. About the doctor-nurse kill. One.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot believe we can't get any fucking nudity in these movies. This is insane. I don't know what has happened to this country, but god damn, could we get a fucking girl in the shower or something? What is happening here? And two, did you notice that after he killed the doctor, he took the bandage off his hand and looked at it? Since he is infected, does that mean that kills also heal him? Is that what we're supposed to get out of that?
I had no idea that happened. Wow.
It does come up when they're at the radio station on the roof. She's looking at his hand because he took that off, and she just says the word infected.
Rage!
Like looking at it. So, yeah, I don't really know how to take that.
Right.
Interesting.
I mean, he's definitely infected with, the killer instinct. And
Rage!
I thought that's,
It was like a double entendre or something.
Right. That's all that I thought they were trying to do. I didn't think about him, healing in any way.
Right.
Because it's not like Michael's... I mean, does he heal? I mean, who knows? His fingers didn't grow back.
But he stood up as if his bones were all kind of crippled, and then all of a sudden he realigned or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like he got out of the kill chiropractor. And it's like, oh yeah, I feel good.
Oh yeah, that's what I needed.
Mm-hmm. Well, first we get Lori and Allison arguing at home. Wouldn't you be pissed off if you were Allison? Like, your grandmother set you up with this kid, and you instantly like him, and she's like telling you to take your shirt off and shit and throw caution into the wind, and then 2 days later she's like, you cannot spend any more time with this boy, and doesn't even, as far as I know, really explain to him why that is. That would just give me more motivation to get the fuck out of there. Like, fuck you. You're going to tell me what not to do? I'm going to do exactly the opposite.
Yeah, makes sense why she acted that way. So that's not, she kind of reminded us a little bit, reminded me of Laurie Strode in H2. Not to the extreme, of course, but she had some things that were buried, and she did a good job of covering them up. Same thing as Laurie. But a couple things figure into the equation, and all of a sudden, the cracks start to show. And that's what starts to happen. Then she tells Laurie off and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, you didn't expect it because the way she was behaving, but it just goes to show you that Laurie and her were each attempting to get over their trauma in their own ways. And we see freaking, they both slipped in it. But again, that's life. Shit happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about the movie. It's character driven. So, I mean, take it or leave it.
Just like H2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, speaking of H2 and real life, I'm sure you guys heard this story about Danielle Harris and Scout talking about meeting Jamie Lee, and she's like, I don't know you.
I never saw those movies. I have no idea who you are.
Yeah, and then, I don't know.
I don't believe them. I think that Scout and her made it a lot worse than it probably was, and they're just being drama queens.
I think we've heard stories about Jamie Lee Curtis being,
kind of curt.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Right.
But I could get that. I mean, that's known. But I think that why would they not have a knowledge of that as well? Being in this franchise and having close to this girl played her daughter, and this girl played the same role that she played, and she knows the Akkads, and she knows people about this franchise. She's spoken to fans at conventions. I'm sure both of them have an idea, and I'm not defending being rude at any point, but I'm saying I'm sure that they should have had a little bit of background of how Jamie Lee hasn't watched any of these things, and outside of the one she's in,
she probably doesn't even watch the ones that she's in. No,
not that she watches them, but I mean, she's doesn't think about them or hasn't bothered to watch them.
Here's my two takes on this. One, why would these two girls sabotage anything of their career by just picking this fight with Jamie Lee Curtis at this time? That seems weird. And two,
attention podcast.
They have a podcast, right?
Yeah, you get downloads from that shit. How many people I didn't even know they had a podcast.
Me neither.
Until I heard that. And now I'm like, oh. And for a second I looked it up. Didn't play it, but did look it up. And you know how that goes. You can't pay for fucking certain type of advertising.
Mm-hmm. Right. But two, if Jamie Lee Curtis, if you said to her, hey, I played your daughter in the Halloween sequels, wouldn't you just go, oh, wow, nice. What would you think of the movie? Like, would you really say, I never saw those movies, I have no idea who you are? Like, even a common courtesy, no pun intended, why would you say that? Like,
I don't think she did.
Yeah, like, we could all say things like that at every turn, at every conversation, but you choose the more polite thing, and you go, oh, okay, So blah 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 blah. You know, like you just don't say that. It's just a weird thing to do.
But the fact that they cried, that they said that they fucking openly wept, shows more fakeness of it. That's why I don't believe them.
Yeah.
Seriously, would that make you cry?
Right.
Honestly. If you played fucking Jax Teller in the redoing of fucking Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, sure. I'd be devastated. Yeah.
It would hurt, but you already love Jax Teller.
Yeah.
That's okay. Think about this. What if you know what I'm saying? These people don't know her from fucking Adam. They didn't. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they had her built up like fucking. You have Jack Teller built up. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't think of a better example. That's what I came off the top.
No, it's a great
honestly,
example.
Are you really going to be moved to fucking tears because another actor in this 20, 30 years you've been involved in this franchise, the one said, I haven't seen your movies. I don't know who you are. Oh my God, she doesn't even know who we are.
Yeah.
And they're really going to fucking openly cry.
Oh, yeah, I'd be devastated.
But doesn't that reek of fucking... You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't buy them. Scout has done some dubious things in the past, and so has fucking Danielle, as far as I'm concerned. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll never know.
Yeah,
so.
No. It's probably both sides. You know, all the story is coming from them only. So I think both things are true. She was probably short with them, are just not polite, which is fine. And then they also are blowing it up more so than it needs to be, I would guess.
I mean, it's awfully timely when fucking Halloween Ends comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, they were there at the premiere. I did see them there at the premiere.
That's true. If they were there, I mean, it did happen.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Something happened. Probably. Imagine if they just made the whole fucking thing up.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
You did insult them a little bit. You did insult a little bit.
Yeah. No. You insulted them a little bit.
Hey, Jimmy, what's right is right. You understand what I'm talking about?
It's all right.
No, I mean, the kids over here, we're hugging and kissing over here, and 2 minutes later, he's acting like a fucking jerk.
No. You insulted him a little bit. You got a little out of order yourself.
No, I didn't insult him. I didn't insult him.
Insulted him a little bit.
No, I didn't insult nobody. Give us a drink.
Give us a drink.
Okay.
Let's just have a drink.
Salute.
Yeah.
You were a little bit out of line yourself.
Yeah, you were a little bit out of line. Hey, listen. Oh, God. Matt's like, can we get to the end of my final show?
Yeah. BananaLaser ends tonight. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Golly. Oh, man. Why did I agree to do this? Yeah. Fucking Shinebox. Jesus Christ. Can we talk about one topic? Oh, my God.
I know. Oh, my God.
Get your fucking Shinebox.
Hey, this is why people tune in. Yeah.
All business.
Don't be in a rush to stick it up your crack. BananaLaser will be right back.
Do you or any member of your family have a problem with monkeys, chimps, or orangutans?
Are these pesky primates invading your home, looking for shelter?
Does the constant squealing and crying of these pets keep you awake at night?
Are you constantly dodging fecal matter being thrown around your house?
If this sounds like you and your loved ones, then we have the solution.
BananaLaser. Never be fearful of your children watching these beasts fornicate or masturbate again. BananaLaser.
That's right, with
BananaLaser.
You don't have to live with this problem anymore. Just simply aim and pull the trigger. You'll blast, zap, and blow these troublesome monsters to kingdom come.
Just 3 easy payments of $79.99, and this death ray will be on your doorstep in 3 to 6 months. BananaLaser.
100% fine quality Filipino craftsmanship made by the most well-trained 10-year-olds.
So order BananaLaser today at 314-720-8842 or bananalaser@gmail.com. And also BananaLaser makes the perfect gift for any occasion.
Hope to hear from you soon. Just remember,
BananaLaser.
Take your stinky paws off you
damn dirty ape.
So, yeah, I think after this we get Well, we get a title card of October 31st, so it's actually Halloween this time, but it doesn't say Halloween, which I thought was interesting. And I'm glad it didn't do what was it? Was it H2? Rob Zombie's H2? It just said trick or treat. I was like,
oh yeah, remember that?
Oh no, what are you doing? Thank God it didn't do that.
True.
Yeah, but yeah, from here we get really fun scenes. One at the junkyard with the bullies. I guess he leads them there. Yeah, that's right. He sees them. He scratches something into their car, and then they follow him there. And this is just a fun sequence. Definitely feels like Christine after he gets in the tow truck and whatnot. But I just love that his stepdad or uncle or whoever it is just there at work watching Hard Target on headphones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Why is he? And then you would say, well, the wife would probably scream at him for the noise or whatever. So.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah,
who knows?
He's got like a cat poster on the wall and shit. It's such a weird office, but these are some great kills. I mean, the drummer gets his drumstick in the eye, off screen, but still looks cool. Then the one bully accidentally shoots the old guy in the head. I guess he was just there to have another body get killed. But it also begs the question, what would new Michael do with him at this point? It's not like he was out and out bad to him, but he also never came to his aid between his mom or anything. So do you think he would have killed him too?
No, I think he liked him, and I think the guy was good. I think
gave him a bike.
He's his stepfather. He gave him the bike.
Gave him a
he
job.
Supported him. He told him, I hope you find love. In other words, get the hell out because what I have fucking sucks. And, you know what I mean? And that happens. I think that he was as supportive as a stepfather as he could be. Plus, keep in mind, they said that his real father bolted after the events went down. So this guy came in and had shoes to fill and take a role in this kid's life, which is part of again, that's his trauma. His dad left him too.
Oh, okay. I missed that line. Huh.
Yeah, no, they made it too. It was a passing the way it was put in the movie. I think they could have done a better job at conveying that. It isn't like this. This franchise has been the most subtle, especially this trilogy. So,
right. What if Cunningham passed off the evil to his stepdad as well, and then they all team up, and it's like a trio of killers. You got the fat man, the little guy, and the old man. Yeah, he runs over a chick, which is great because she's still alive.
Poor girl. I felt bad for her because out of all of them, she wasn't the most. She was there, but she wasn't really into the bullying.
That was a callback to H2. Remember in the field when those guys are beating up Michael with the bat in the field?
Oh, yeah. And she said, take it easy on them.
Yeah. She's like, just stop. What do you want to do? Kill the guy? And then Michael still kills her?
Wow. Interesting. Wow, that's awesome. Wow.
Damn, dude.
But I think the winner here is, and it's too bad it's not exactly a full shot, but the blowtorch to the face.
That's the best kill, and they didn't show shit.
Yeah, they didn't really show it, unfortunately. But you do see the other gal's reaction while it's happening, which is sometimes more terrifying than actually seeing the effect and stuff. But just think about the brutality of that in general. Is like, fuck. What can you just gouge my eyes out, please? Why are you doing this?
That probably is the banana split.
I would think so, yeah.
If they showed it, though, right? Or do you think we should not give it... Like, remember how Michael J. used to give, like, the winner to off-screen kills and stuff? Like, like Brenda was the best kill.
Yeah, the light came on. Yeah.
yeah, when the light came on.
Steve Christie. Like, nothing happened.
Right.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Oh, dude, that was amazing. That's so much better than Jack Burrell. Yeah, I would totally give that the one, but I don't know. Like,
yeah,
it kind of bothers me that it's not on screen.
Yeah. Well, I do like that he does finish the job with the one under the truck. I think we do see her head collapse, which is interesting.
You know, it's funny you say that. I saw for some reason a clip of the making of or something, and they show a really graphic angle or something of her head popping when he steps on it, and you could see like everything. Then when I watched the movie, I was waiting to see that. I was like, oh, I didn't notice that before. And it's not there. Instead, it's like more of a long shot, sort of him stepping on the fence and her head. But you don't even get all the detail that the guys put into making her head explode like a melon. You don't see it, really. Yeah, so that's two. Since I know that knowledge, that's two things I don't see now in this one moment. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I'm actually struggling to remember that visually, so.
Yeah, because there's nothing to remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Yeah, well, that stinks.
Yeah.
No tits, censored kills. Come on. Well, okay. Well, then here he goes to the fucking the radio station, and this guy. Well, I guess the receptionist too, but this guy. Talk about taking like something like on the nose. But this looks great. He just bashes his fucking head into the turntable, and then his jaw is broken. And he cuts his tongue out with a fucking pair of scissors. Like, holy shit. Have you guys seen on Shudder the movie I watched a couple weeks ago, Speak No Evil?
No.
It's like a Shudder exclusive.
I saw it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That's a good movie. It has a similar connection with this kill. Yeah, I would say peel that one back. It's definitely good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's a good movie. And then I think he goes and kills his mom, or maybe he did that before this. I can't recall, but yeah, how weird. She hits him like earlier in the movie. She slaps him in the face and then kisses him like open mouth on the lips kind of thing. Like, holy fuck.
When Corey was making out with his mom, they stopped before I got to come.
I needed 3 more seconds. Yeah.
I was like, guys, I'm totally into this shit.
And it was right after his mom kisses him. And the stepdad's like, I hope you find love.
He's like, wasn't that it?
Like, fucking take her with you, please.
Yeah, take her with you. Yeah.
I'm going to go jerk off to Hard Target in this mullet.
I'm going to use the back of his hair to mop this up when I'm done.
God. God.
We're going too far tonight.
But after these fun kills, which really adrenalizes the movie, I get another part that I don't really understand. I kind of am not gelling with, and maybe you guys can help me. But that's where we're back at Laurie's house, and it's going through this whole thing of her pulling a gun out and grabbing a bottle of booze. And does she write a suicide note, or she calls the cops and says there's a suicide? Like, what does she think is happening? Like, does she think someone's coming there? Like, it's all a setup. That's the whole thing. I don't get this. And
I think I have an answer.
Good, please.
Because she goes and sees Corey and has that talk with him. And because of her feelings towards Corey, when she first spots him and she's in the same position as Michael and all that, in her mind, Corey's bad, stay away from him and everything else. But eventually, this is going to lead me, this is going to lead him to me. And I know it's going to happen. And so she's kind of waiting for something to happen. Exactly when, I don't know. But I guess I just take it as her intuition. Feeling that danger's coming, especially the direction it's going in with her conversation with Corey and then her conversation with Allison. So I think she thinks, okay. So then she's like, okay, and it's Halloween. So I am going to take this opportunity. I think something's happening. So the whole thing is this. It was very cryptic what she was saying, and it's funny because my daughter leans over to me and says, that it sounds like a suicide note. She's saying that as he's writing. I'm like, huh. But then it gets there, and what happens? Both of us knew exactly what happened. The fake out didn't work. You could tell by the shot and the noise after the shot what really happened. You could just tell. It was perfect, maybe too perfect. Maybe they should have made it not so obvious. I believe that she did that, and she had an inkling he was coming. Now he's there. Now, here's my take on this. She calls the cops just to have a reason for cops to show up at the house. So she wants to say, I want to report a suicide. So she's doing it she's being clever, because she wants the person that she thinks is spying on her to think that she actually is about to commit a suicide. So she has every reason to call cops, as opposed to what she's really hatching here, the plan she's hatching. So I think she does that to get the cops there, and then to fake it out and then say what she did. That's what I think. It's just a plan she came up with. Maybe it's a little far-fetched, but that's what my take was on it.
Well, there's one thing I still don't understand.
What's that?
Did Lori go to jail for shooting that pumpkin?
No. They just let her do it and kill Michael.
Oh, okay. It was really good then.
Well, okay. Yeah, great story, Gordon. You brought up a scene that I wanted to mention but forgot, because the boy, he sleeps at the murder house where he killed that kid. He sleeps like right there on the floor, real sick like. And
yeah, he slept in the puddle, the blood stain.
Yeah, like wow, holy shit.
This dude's hardcore, man.
And then in the morning, Lori wakes him up. She's sitting in a chair and it's tapping up against the wall. Now, when this scene ended, and I still don't know, but I thought he imagined this or dreamt it. Did you guys get that at all, or do you think she was actually there? Because she kind of vanishes.
Yeah, but the window after, remember, he goes over to it and he sees that was the way she exited.
Mm-hmm.
There was something there.
All right.
But I believe that was kind of the implication. I think they wanted you to question whether or not it happened.
Right.
Because the first time I saw it, I did question it myself, but then the second time I said, no, I was watching this time. I go, I know it was kind of an artistic choice to do it that way. Maybe they thought it was cool, or maybe they wanted people to contemplate.
Yeah, it's like American Psycho.
Right.
Did you guys notice that weird cut in her speaking? Like, she was saying, like, about evil infecting. Then all of a sudden she's like, you can't have her. You guys can't be together. And it's like, whoa. Like, her levels weren't even the same. Or her inflection just came out of nowhere. It's almost like they cut some dialogue out. And they just cut it right to, you can't be with her.
Maybe they did.
We're both fucked up. I want to help you, Corey. Let me help you. Or let me find help for you. You can't have her. Allison is not equipped for this relationship. And I will not let her get hurt. So stay the fuck away.
You started this! You brought me in! You invited me!
You're the one to blame.
It just comes out of nowhere when you hear the first sentences compared to that one. But I think, to answer your question, I think it's real because that is the entire motivation for him to go kill Lori. And that is what brings Michael to that house as well. Michael's only there to get his mask. He doesn't even know that Lori lives there. Although, someone will argue, yeah, but he stood by that tree and looked at Lori standing in front of her house earlier. But again, if he even knew that that was the girl he supposedly wants to kill, he would have walked up to her and just twisted her head. Why didn't he kill her then if that's really his target? So that's one of the things I was going to say. Like what I was saying earlier about this meant to be stuff. Like, they're just meant to interact because Corey is only there because he's dating the granddaughter, and the grandmother said, you can't be with her. So he's going to go kill her because she's in the way, just like his mother was in the way, just like this one's in the way, just like that one's in the way. So that's all that is. And Michael is only there because Corey jumped on him and said, you're just a man, and stole his mask to go on a killing spree for whatever reason. I guess we never got into why he wanted that mask or whatever. Maybe it's to kill without getting caught or something. I don't know.
I mean, I guess there's like a sense of power to it, you know, not literal power, but it's like if I get I'm not a baseball fan, but if I got a baseball hat that some player wore, you know, it would charge me. So maybe that he's just getting like juiced up. He's drinking his protein shake or whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, Roy did the same thing. Roy put on a Jason mask.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do that. He could have just killed.
I think that was to get away with it, though. So, but Corey is the worst. He throws the knife after killing the homeless guy. He keeps smashing his hand against the fucking window of the doctor's house. Like, dude, you're going to get caught. You can't just leave your fucking blood and your fingerprints all over the place. Like, you're the worst. And then then he goes and does this. But, like, there's a lot of questions here. But that's definitely the only reason Michael was at that house, just to get his mask back.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back.
Yeah.
Now he'll just leave.
Yeah, you're right, Dave, and that does make a lot of sense with Hope explaining why she's kind of ready for the confrontation, and she doesn't even know that Michael is still like that. He's like interacting with Michael necessarily,
right?
And so she's expecting only him, and that's it. So I'm sure she really shit her pants whenever the actual Michael Myers showed up to the house.
Oh, can we talk about the trailer? I know Dave loves this topic. And God, I've loved it.
Oh boy, this trailer, yeah.
It's bad.
Thank God I didn't watch this thing. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, dude? Like, I don't know. If you guys continue watching trailers after this, I'd be surprised. So, the trailer gave away the fucking fake suicide. Like, when I'm watching this, I was almost like, oh my God, is that really... No, this couldn't be how it ends, because she did say it would piss off a lot of people, and people would be pissed if Lori just gave up and fucking shot herself. And the reason you're led to believe that that is a possibility is because she's been clean and sober for 4 years, then she pours herself a drink. It's like she really just fucking gave up on everything. So you believe she actually did give up, because now she's going to drink, because what the fuck does it matter? I'm going to kill myself in 2 minutes anyway. So she does that, then you hear this gun, you hear the brains splatter on the floor, and goddamn, the trailer has her pushing the fucking door open and aiming the gun. Now, I would know this is all bullshit if I saw the trailer. So, goddamn, thank God I didn't. And then later on, with the hand in the H2O callback with the food, whatever you call that, garbage disposal, you see her headbutt Michael and get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you would know that that's coming up, and there's no way that this is just gonna, whatever, yields, oh yeah, she's gonna do that. Boom, then she does it. Like, there's some weird things that they put in these trailers. I guess the most glaring omission is everything to do with the plot of Corey. And it's almost, like, why are you hiding that aspect? Are they...
They didn't want to spoil that part, so all they could show was footage from the very end of the movie.
Right.
And so I understand why that pisses a lot of people off too, because it makes it seem very different.
Right. You think you're going to watch a 2-hour epic battle, and instead you go down a totally different path. Now, not seeing the trailer, maybe that's why me and Dave didn't care that much, but you did see it, and it didn't seem to bother you either, though, so.
No. But I tend to forget what happens in the trailers most of the time, but by the time I see the movie...
Right.
And also, I know these things are fucking totally farce. They're made up lots of the times. Like, I think there's dialogue in... they shoot dialogue that's only for trailers, because you need a bullet point to sell the movie. So, I always take them with a grain of salt. And, also, people pointed out... I didn't notice, because I don't pay that close attention. But, people take these... things frame by frame.
Oh, yeah.
And people pointed out that it was not the real Michael in the trailer because he had all his fingers on his left hand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, it was kind of spoiled because of that. Yeah. But I think you got to be
so they should have known better
an
then.
Uber fan.
They should have known.
That out. Yeah.
That wasn't Michael. Or before they even got there. They shouldn't even had a reason to say there was a bait and switch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See? There you go.
So we're at the Corey part, right? So
Yeah.
So she goes and shoots him. He falls down the stairs. Then she empties her gun into the wall, the same way Hawkins shot that same wall going down a staircase in the other movie with the flashback. Why do you think she did that? Everyone's asking, like, because then she says, if you're here to kill me, then kill me.
Because I thought she actually doesn't want to kill him. She just doesn't want him to be with Allison. Well, the cops would have shown up.
Cops on the way.
And they would have arrested him for like a home invasion and assault.
So she shot the gun not to have no defense against him and say, then just kill me if you want to kill me. It was really, that's just her like talking shit.
Yeah, I think so.
It was really so she's not tempted to blow his head off at some point.
Exactly. Yeah, I think so. Because she probably could have been pushed to that point, I'm sure. But then he hears Allison's car pull up because of her loose muffler, I guess. I was kind of trying to figure out why he knew it was her. And then stabs himself in the neck because he's already said multiple times, if I can't have her, nobody can, which is every psycho boyfriend has probably said that at some point. You know?
Yeah, I've said it about 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, threatening, I'm going to kill myself if you don't get back with me. Yeah. But he actually does it. And yeah, this is kind of a weird interaction. I get why Laurie seems to completely do like a 180, but that's because, well, now I've turned my granddaughter completely against me because it looks like I murdered this guy, which I wasn't trying to do, which is interesting. But he's actually still not dead, though. That's the other funny part.
Yeah, what do you think of that? Is that the Michael Myers in him, the evil?
Ah, I dig that now that you mention it.
Yeah, and I do like the fact that Michael finally is the one that kills him. Thank God. You know, why did you... Maybe Michael knew the entire time that I need more power. The only way I can get it is by killing. I'm too weak to do it myself. That's why I've been here for 4 years.
He's like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, Freddy and Jason.
I can't kill if they don't remember me.
I need you to go have your fun so I can, like, you know, get your sloppy seconds. I think that's what he was doing, yeah.
Corey was a means to an end, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll let Corey have fun for a little bit longer.
I can't come back if I don't remember.
She's mine! Mine!
What? I can't believe that really happened.
I know, right? Honestly, I'll wait till we get there. It's the whole versus thing. I don't care about a versus. I didn't want to see a Jason versus Freddy battle to see fucking Laurie versus Michael. Everyone seems to have this idea in their head. They expected some epic fucking... And I'm like, really? That's what you expected to see? We've only seen it fucking 4 other times, and it's been exhausted to death. Yes, we want to see the two of them at the end. One kill one, or one kill the other, or both of them die maybe. And that's as far as I thought about it. Sorry, I just had Freddy versus Jason. I keep making that comparison because people keep saying that. And I keep going, so what? You wanted Freddy versus Jason for this?
It's the match of the century. Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
2 65-year-olds.
They should have done a weigh-in promo. Just do a stare down. Yeah, I think that's why this last fight is like not very long. And also why it pisses people off, because they wanted more, you know, they wanted to go on for 20 minutes and it's like, well, what do you want to fucking happen? You know?
Yeah, she just keeps throwing stuff at him and runs to the next room over and over again.
And then she goes in the closet, then she stabs him in the eye, and then she, you know, same shit. Then she drops a knife again, you know.
And I had to come to terms with this. Like, I'm like, well, it was short, but again, exactly what Matt said. What did you expect to happen? Like, how long could Laurie have survived a battle with Michael? It's almost like it was probably the perfect amount of time because they kind of exhausted realistic options here. And then it goes to there's only one really unrealistic kind of moment. So she stabs oh yeah, by the way, they even in the trailer, they show her stabbing his hands into the island of the fucking kitchen.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, can you believe that?
Fuck trailers.
Yeah, fuck trailers. I'm glad. I've been out of that game for 10 years and I'm not going back.
Matt remembers I was with him on BananaLaser when we Banana Bites, that excellent show. We did Banana Bites. and it was 2013, and we saw the trailer for The Conjuring.
Oh yeah,
the
clapping game, yeah.
Clap game right then and there. I said, you know what? I don't think I'm watching trailers anymore. And that was it. That was it. Here I am years later. Still don't watch it.
9 years later.
Yeah.
So the only unrealistic moment, unless you guys disagree, is she stabs his hand, and I forget he does whatever, and then she kind of picks him up and slams him onto the island. So there's a lot to process again. Do we buy this because he is the broken down Michael, who's not exactly on full or anything, and Laurie is 60-something years old, but she was Sarah Connoring all those years.
Mm-hmm.
Does that bother you guys? Like that one moment of her lifting him up and slamming him onto the island? Is that like, oh my God? So you're telling me Michael killed everybody on the street that time? He killed all those firemen? He killed blah, 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 but a fucking 65-year-old woman is gonna fucking give him a rock bottom on top of an island in a kitchen and then stab his other hand and just fucking kill him? I'm okay with it. One of them had to die, and you gotta think of it like this. We already had a showdown with these two. Loomis killed Michael, blew him up in that room when he put all the oxygen on and lit the thing. Then they said, no, we got to make money. So then Laurie kills him in H2O, but she really doesn't because it's not him. So Michael killed Laurie and then continued on. So now Jamie Lee comes back. Why is it that crazy that, well then I want my ending. Michael already had his ending in 2003 or 2. If I'm coming back and I'm doing all this, Laurie's going to be a survivor. So now I'm going to kill Michael, and we're ending this anyway, and you guys are going to start fresh or whatever the fuck you're doing when I leave. I don't know. I don't care. But I kill Michael now. It's going to be my journey. It's my story. I came back for these 3 movies. She's going to survive, right? Why is that a problem? You got your way in 2002 when he killed her. So now it's a new story, and now it's this other angle. So that's not a big deal, right?
It doesn't bother me at all. I feel like that's the most satisfying conclusion we can get after this.
Right.
After this thing. So I didn't realize that specific idea people had an issue with.
I didn't know she lifted him up like you said. I
don't recall that.
I guess I'll look for it next time.
But I would attribute that just to being like, you know, when you hear a mother having superhuman strength of pulling a car off their child or something, like she's juiced. And he's weakened. So, you know.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, how can Rey beat Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens kind of bullshit? It's like, well, he's weakened. She's juiced. You know, I don't know.
Rage!
Yeah.
Rage!
Yeah, the rage!
Rage!
Too violent, too deadly.
Too violent, too deadly.
Michael, go to Laurie Strode's house.
Go home!
He can't go home. He has a fucking... There's no home. They demolished him.
Michael, go home. Go home!
Help her hang Halloween decorations.
See? So let me ask you guys. When Allison comes back and sees that she's killed...
Did Laurie kill again?
Do you think if you're Laurie, if you're Allison in that case, do you think that you're going to notice that Corey is dressed up like Michael Myers? Do you think you would notice that he had on fucking overalls or whatever the fuck he was wearing? Or do you just would have been so shocked that as soon as you walk in, you see your grandmother and you see your fucking boyfriend with a fucking knife in his throat? You probably wouldn't really process all that stuff, because that's kind of the way I see it.
Yeah, I agree. No way would you notice the mask or anything. You would be blinded with emotion just from seeing her with a knife and all the blood and everything, I would think.
That's what I think. I've heard people complain that they were a little disappointed that, you know, she didn't confront her mother, or pardon me, that she didn't confront her grandmother and say, you know, what do you do? What the hell is this? You know what I mean?
Dude, you know how many times I open the refrigerator and after standing there for like 5 minutes, like, where's the fucking mayonnaise? And she's like, it's right in front of you. And I'm like, oh, right.
Oh, right.
So, no, yeah, there's plenty of things I don't notice I'm staring at, so, yeah.
Look, why is he... Do you think she would question why he's dressed up as Michael Myers, and why she wouldn't get mad? Like, she just accepted it.
No, because that's a mechanic suit he wears at his junkyard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute.
Which is another great, like, little little tie there, give him a reason
shit.
to do that. Yeah.
And the mask was off, right? He didn't have a Michael mask on.
No, it was off. Yeah.
So it was just a dead body. Her boyfriend that her grandmother killed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Still a little bit hard to believe, but I mean, I have to watch that scene again to look at the ultimate reaction, but it didn't seem like she did get mad at her, and it made sense that she would. I guess it works then. Just making sure, because I forgot that he wore overalls. Yeah, what did I think? He went to he decided to put overalls on because Michael happened to,
Well, he certainly couldn't wear Michael's. Michael's a lot taller than this kid. So he had to get his own, and he's figuring, oh, Michael wears that, I got my own, and then I'll just take his mask.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Jason in Part 3 where he wears fucking, the other guy's Harold's clothes.
Harold's clothes, yeah.
Harold, god damn it! Yeah.
Yeah, so then we get this funeral procession, which, I mean, I liked. I mean, it's cool. It's like, you gotta, since the town has been living with this entire cloud of Michael the whole time, it's like, well, it's like the grieving process or letting go. It's like we can finally let go. but the second time I watched it, I was thinking, well, now the town has to lie. Like, everyone has this lie.
Right.
Isn't somebody going to slip up to another town or something? Be like, hey, we murdered this guy and just did not say anything about it. The entire town.
Or how many people live in Haddonfield, which has grown substantially again.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking
every
like
movie.
We say every time.
Yeah, now they have a junkyard.
You're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
They finally gave the dude from Texarkana some kind of job here.
Yep.
Yeah, to stop the other police.
This isn't how this works. And he's like, it is tonight, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and that's his whole purpose. They get this big, imposing black man, and you think, God, he's going to do something. This guy seems like he's going to be a problem for somebody. And instead, he just kind of like sits on the chair. He's like, God damn it, in the hospital, and everyone's not listening to him. And he has no purpose in the first movie. And in this movie, he rolls up and he says, it is tonight. And that's it. So you hired.
Rolls up.
Why is this guy in these movies? I'm trying to still figure out.
I hear you.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. I don't, dude.
Why have him so distinct looking? I mean, he's in a fucking 25-gallon cowboy hat. Like,
right.
What is
like,
the purpose?
He's a caricature almost.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it.
I don't either. Why is he there? He must know somebody. They must have created a fucking role just for him. Maybe he's the father of that kid, of that fucking little babysitter kid.
He has as much purpose in these movies as the Man in Black did in Halloween 5.
You're right. Just fucking, then they got to write around it. Yeah. So if there's a sequel,
you fill it in later.
He's coming in.
Yeah.
Ultimately, they're going to tie it together. They're going to fucking tie this to fucking The Town That Dreaded Sundown and say that, you know what? He was just a fucking... He rolled over in Haddonfield because he was an outsider. Because he really came from Texarkana.
Right. He was just selling sundown sacks, and he said, you know what? I need another job. He went to Haddonfield. All these guys were killed in the other movies, so he applied, and that's it.
You're coming back. You
Well, let's talk about one guy who's not coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, the meat grinder. I do really like this because it's like a... Well, okay, I also have a theory. They put him in a meat grinder. He's going to be
dog meat?
Which is fun. Yeah, he's going to be a slime monster. Evil never dies.
No, a dog's going to eat him. A dog is going to eat him like
shit
he
him. Like the way the dog pissed fire, he's going to shit Michael.
Or Nightmare 4. Yeah.
He's going to shit Michael.
They put him in the meat grinder saying, like, we're closing the book on this story. We're not coming back to this. But we all know... the Accods and Blumhouse, they're going to make more of these. Like, we're not stupid.
Right? They got to do something.
Yeah, they're going to do something.
Oh, I know. That was Corey's body.
That's what I'm thinking.
Someone put the mask on the wrong Oh, no, there was no mask on him.
No, there wasn't. But, like, what if the next sequel, if they want to continue this, like, they pan out of the chop shop and everyone's standing there, and off across the street is Michael watching them grind up some other guy's body that he somehow switched out, just resurrection style.
Can you imagine?
Oh, my God. Yeah. But
I love that thing they threw them in. I watch videos of them throwing
Oh,
everything in those things, like rubber tires, bowling balls, those canisters of oxygen. You ever see when they throw those things on like Instagram when they just keep throwing shit in there?
Yeah, I watch those too. It's very satisfying.
Oh, I can watch it for hours, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's even better than like a wood chipper or anything like that.
Oh, yeah, it's way better.
You can really see it just getting torn apart.
I didn't think I'd ever see my favorite slasher in there, but yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly. Now just throw Freddy in there and Leatherface and Pinhead. That would be great. And Dahmer.
Okay, I'll say this. This is my true thoughts pissing in the movie theater after I was done watching this. I was standing there with my dick in my hand. And I said to myself, you know what? I walked out and I was on some kind of weird high. And I met another Halloween fan in the bathroom. And he asked me if I liked this. And the look on his face showed me that he does not. And he was not happy whatsoever. And I gotta say, it bothered me that he kind of ruined how I felt. Because it's almost like I had to endure what I eventually would have to endure as soon as I got back on social media. After being so pleasantly surprised. And I was so excited. And as I'm standing there, I was saying to myself, you know, this really makes a lot of other Halloween movies look really bad. Like, God, this makes like 4 look really like nothing, and 5 look horrible, and 6 look like you guys have no ideas here, and it makes Halloween Kills look so basic. This is like almost masterful filmmaking. And it's like, God, you really knew, you wrote this almost flawlessly. And like, it's so tight and so fluid, and everything ties together so beautifully. And everything just, it was such a journey that I finally fucking experienced something here. Like, I didn't feel like I was watching a best of fucking like Halloween Kills, like the best of hits, like putting all these movies into the one big movie. I felt like I'm finally watching an original story here, and I'm taking a fresh journey and getting a new angle on this whole thing and living through the town of Haddonfield, kind of like how I felt with Halloween 2, but even more in ways. I'm so excited that, man, one of our dumb movies got this kind of treatment. I was like, damn, that's great. Jesus, this was so cool. And I'm so thrilled. And I went out to my friends and I was like, so what'd you guys think? And I was so happy to hear that other people thought that way and then others didn't. And I'm like, God, really? It was like impossible to believe that someone else didn't love this. And it was such a great feeling that I'll always remember and I'll always think back on. I don't ever walk out of the theater feeling like that. And I just wanted that moment to last forever. And my wife felt it too. And she was like, that was fucking phenomenal. Nice. I was like, yeah, it really was, wasn't it? It's almost like we don't even deserve it. And God, little did I know that something like that is surely not going to be absorbed by the masses the same way, or whatever you want to call it. Surely something that powerful could not affect everyone in the same way, could it? And it's like, no, it's not gonna. And it didn't. God, this is what I've been wanting and never even knew it. For all these years.
Wow, dude. That's what I said. I said this was the freaking movie that I didn't think I want. You know what I'm saying? I expected something else. I wanted something else. I didn't get it. I got this, but I didn't realize I wanted it until I saw it. That's what I said. Dude, and that's it. And so many people don't like it, and
sorry.
You know, I hear you. I could understand why, but it's to the point now where it's like, it's such a divisive thing that if you are on social media, but that goes for just about anything.
Yeah. Well, IMDb, it's a solid 5.0 right now on IMDb. But if you look at like the first Halloween, it's only a 7.7.
Yeah, that's actually not bad. Yeah.
Right? You don't even fucking know how good that is. So what do I care if you give this a 5? Yeah. It's like,
well, yeah, but I mean, the horror community's pretty divisive about it. It's probably, 70-30? People don't like it, I would say.
Oh, yeah, and the most diehard of all the people hate it the most.
A lot of times, yeah. But the thing is, I actually dug it. I understand that it's misplaced. I will admit that. But is it, though? Is it really misplaced if you take this trilogy as a separate thing? If you look at 1978 and you look at this and say, okay, this is the start of something and this is the finish. But that really isn't what's happening here. I mean, it is in this timeline, the third sequel to the original movie, but it's also just a different time in general in the world, and they're just doing some things different. And honestly, I could say the same thing for all three movies. There are some things I liked. Mm-hmm. There are some things I didn't like. But there's more that I liked than I didn't. And, I feel like you, Alex. I mean, it's just... but I am a little bit disappointed. I wish there could be more of a celebration of this movie. It's going to be remembered as a colossal fuck up,
which is very sad. Right.
It is very sad because it's for the most part it tells a good story and I like it. And then, but people that are intelligent enough and are big fans are not even being jerks about it. They'll say, yes, it is an intelligent story. It's just misplaced. It doesn't belong here. It doesn't belong in this franchise. And it's almost like you can't argue back with them because in a way I kind of feel sorry for them because they didn't get out of it what I got. I'm glad I got out of it what I got and what the three of us apparently seem to have gotten. But, yeah, it's just unfortunate. But I knew this was going to happen. I mean, you guys probably thought it too in the movie. Like, I remember I told my daughter, I said, I don't know, like an hour into it, I said, people are going to be having kittens when this movie comes out. I told her. I knew it. I was like, you guys probably knew it too. There's no revelation. Didn't you think as you watched? Although, Alex, you actually expected people to like it. But, Matt, you felt like...
I knew, people... When I was at work, because I told everyone I was going to go see it Thursday night. And the next day at work, people who were interested were like, what'd you think? What'd you think? And I said, I liked it. You're going to hate it. That's,
right on.
I was like, I don't want to say anything else. You're probably not going to like it. But I really did. And that's all I'll say, so...
That's good.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything else about it.
But Alex, you legit, when you got out, you said you were on a high. You actually thought that other horror fans and other people around... I'll tell you what, there's no way I thought mainstream audiences would like it. It's far too removed from any mainstream horror and franchise shit.
It's funny you say that. I thought they would like it more than us. Because I thought that a mainstream person doesn't care as much as we do. So I thought they'd be more open to some other type of thing here, and I thought that this was, like Matt said, the thing is, it was done so well. Mm-hmm. That's why we're sitting here talking about it like this. It's because of how it was done. So I thought a casual moviegoer would have thought he'd come in to see Halloween Kills Part 2, and instead see this and be like, God damn, these movies are better than I thought they were. That's what I thought they'd really say.
The thing is, though, because they're normies, their expectations are different. They don't want to see a challenge. They want to see a slasher movie with just people getting hacked up and, fun, easy to digest shit, some fucking comedy thrown in there, and a showdown at the end, finally, between Laurie and Michael. It's the same way when they go to see a supernatural film. They want jump scares and some cool things and a formulaic approach. But that's because... to them, it's like a vacation to see a horror movie. It's a thrill ride they do every so often. For people like us, the way it's paced, it's not paced like a Halloween or any franchise movie is. So I don't think most people are going to see a horror movie to see something paced that way. Mm-mm. So I thought they wouldn't like it. That's what I thought.
I think it's...
But you legit thought that the casual fan, the normie, and horror fans would like it. That's the way you felt, huh?
I almost quote Michael J. Fox and saying, I guess you guys aren't ready for that, but one day you're going to love it.
Yeah. Years down the line.
It's Halloween 3.
Years down the line, people are going to love this entire trilogy and hold it up, put it on a pedestal. I guarantee it. I say at least 30% of the people bashing it now will flip on this.
Oh, yeah.
Years to come. Yeah.
I think there'll be some flipping. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same with, even Rob Zombie's movies are getting that kind of treatment. People are looking at them again and being like, you know what, this wasn't that bad.
Right. People who hate this are now going to that, and one day, in 15 years, people are going to hate whatever and then go to this. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
It's just human nature. For some reason, that rearview mirror looks so much better than the windshield, and I don't know why. And we didn't even talk about the soundtrack to this fucking movie. I mean, it's amazing.
So good.
Yeah.
It fit in
perfect. I made a Spotify playlist of every song on here, so if you guys have that, let me know. I'll send it to you. Like, I searched up every song in order and put them all there.
Oh, you meant the actual song.
Yeah, it had a lot of good songs, too. Yeah, good stuff.
I was just thinking the score itself I thought was fucking fit perfectly, and it was great again. All three have been very solid. I mean, but I'm going to say this. This is a fact, and I probably said it last show, and I'm repeating myself, but if I am, so what? I think the Halloween franchise, without question, is the best franchise for soundtracks. Just all of them. Even 4 and 5, even ones that aren't as good.
Oh, 5 is good.
5, I like
there
5.
you go, but there's still things about them that I can listen to them. I can put them on. I'm not going to sit around, and I'm not going to put on the New Blood soundtrack. I'm just not going
Right, unless you do My Killer Cut.
True.
Right, where it's all the subtle
you
stuff.
don't have the New Blood in there. You don't have anything from Part 7
No, I
in
do.
there.
I do. Yeah, I got one.
Do you?
No, I made a killer cut of all 7 movies.
Oh,
okay.
Different thing.
Yeah. It's not all that like who wants to hear that?
Oh,
like
right.
yeah, I want to hear like the cool shit that makes me feel like I'm like wandering around the camp or whatever. Like that's the music that sticks out, like that's repeatably listenable in headphones or in a car rather than fucking chase music. Like you don't want to hear that when you're sitting on a couch.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Not at all.
that's why I got rid of it. Yeah, I can't wait to hear your guys' ratings on this though.
Yeah, I don't even know what... I haven't even thought about it, but I'll go first. I mean, I really like this. I think it's probably my favorite of the trilogy, honestly, because it's done so well, and it's not perfect by any means. There's a lot of wonky stuff in there, but just how they sold the idea of this kid and him interacting with Allison and Laurie and what he does in his journey, they really kind of killed that. And the way they weaved in Michael into it and what he's done to the town, I mean, it just makes perfect sense to me. And I'm glad that it's a different story. And now that we can look at all 3 of them, you can see that, like Dave said, each one is a different style of story and what they're trying to tell with these characters. So it makes a lot of sense. I would probably give this 4.5 out of 5. Really like it.
Nice.
I want to push it to love it, but like I said, there's just a couple things in there that...
Yeah, a couple missing scenes.
Just made me question stuff, which is fine. It's okay. Perfection is hard. So, but then, if I'm just ranking these 3 movies, I would say it goes in reverse order. Ends, Kills, and then 2018.
Oh, wow, good. Matt, we're doing Top Banana, too, at the end of this, right? You said you wanted us to rank all of them?
Oh, yeah, I already wrote down my rankings. Yeah.
Oh, great, good.
Yeah.
This movie is what I really needed here because Corey Cunningham had such a pivotal role that would make or break this film. And he fucking nailed it, this Rowan Campbell guy. He looks the part. He acted to perfection. He looked perfect for this role. He could play the nerdy guy in the beginning and the dark guy when he looked into that guy's car when he was going to forgive him for his son's murder and all that. Like, it was just the right person to do this. They nailed the casting. Allison, she needed some edge to make me like her. And she did it, and she did it right. Laurie needed her arc. Although, yeah, I'll say maybe it was rushed. You spent 40 years being a fucking weirdo Sarah Connor, and then overnight you're Molly Homemaker, I guess. I guess you could say that, but I don't know. That might be true, and I do appreciate all the true, real-to-life arcs and changes and results of all this. And if I have to sacrifice that one being too quick, I'm going to go ahead and suspend disbelief because I'd rather have this Laurie than the other 2. For all those reasons and the way they weave the story and kept me on board and made Corey my vehicle and all that good stuff, I do love it. Like Matt said, perfection is fucking hard. And it did need a scene or two like we talked about Not much, though. I would almost go as crazy as to say 4.75 out of 5.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to just say I love it. Because I love this as... Not as... Nostalgia, let's not even get into that. You can't even talk about Halloween 1 or 2 or whatever in talking about stuff like this. But it's hard to give up your whole life and whole childhood and just put something in front of it. So it's hard to say things like that. But yeah, 4.75 out of 5, I would say.
I like where they went with the characters here from 4 years ago and the trauma of it and everything else. From one movie to the other with just about all the characters. Michael himself, there's just a little bit of issue there. Corey, his story I really enjoyed. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of the stuff between him and Michael that I wish I could have understood more. But overall, I did enjoy it. I'm glad that I know it seems weird, but I'm glad that it ended this way instead of we got to see all the kills in Kills. We got to see that fun stuff in 78 and flashbacks and Michael on his rampage there. And this we get a quiet movie, almost like the first movie, which was quiet in its own way. And I kind of respect it for that. It's a different type of scene. All 3 movies. It's almost like part 1, I call it. 2018 was almost like reintroducing things, but at the same point making Laurie this character, which I wasn't crazy about. I didn't like the comic dialogue, and it got better as it went along in that respect. But like 2018 was almost kind of like The Force Awakens to me, which I do like, but I prefer the challenge of parts of The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, where it's...
You said 18 different. Was The Force Awakens?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I agree, yeah.
Or did you get that from me, or you thought that too, like on your own?
I've said this before. That's what it has, that feel. It's just reintroducing things and having those... You know what I mean? But I like all of that trilogy, the Star Wars, and I like all of this. And they're different movies, each one. But I'm happy that they went in this direction. Could it have done things differently? Could they have? Maybe. Should they have? I don't think that's for me to say because I enjoyed what I got here anyway, so I don't want to be a complainer. I really like the way things happen towards the end. I like some of the things that, when she comes off of Kills calling him this and that, and he's supernatural and he's a force and all this other stuff, and now... in his final moments, when she's doing this and slitting his throat and cutting him and everything, she says, you're just a man who's about to stop breathing. And the way she's faced that, how she's had him on this pedestal all her life of this boogeyman.
Right.
And now she has him where she wants him. I do feel that we get some finality in it. And I like that she does that. I understand why some people don't like some of the setup and other stuff, but we got what we came to see, and I like that stuff. And I liked, what they write about when she writes down, it doesn't die, it just changes shape.
Right.
And it's prophetic in some ways. Yeah, maybe some of it is a little cheesy, a little like Matt said in the beginning. Some of the stuff, her writing isn't. But again, she's just a human being like us. She's not a professional, so. Whatever.
Yeah, she's not a writer.
It's supposed to be imperfect, maybe. Or maybe it's just bad script writing.
No, listen, bad script writing is Halloween Kills. Let's face it. So, no, this is great. Like...
banh mi sandwich. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. There was too much of that in 2018. That was the issue. And they fixed it a little more in Kills, and they fixed it even more here. So... But I like that stuff. I actually like the stuff that goes on there. It's cute. The thing with Laurie and Frank. I like that little thing. I like that scene when they hook up each other in the restaurant or pardon me, in the supermarket.
Yeah, it's great.
And they see each other. It's cool, and the way it ends, and it's quiet, and it feels like a real town again. I don't know. I like it. I like all the ending shots, just like they ended 78, but in a different way. Different shot.
How about that shot of them holding hands in the reflection of the blood?
Yeah, for sure, man. Mm-hmm. It all worked. So, I did dig it. Ultimately, you guys helped me out a little bit with it. I'm not as high, but I would give it a 4 out of 5. And I still, at the end of the day, although this could change with subsequent views, this is the kind of movie more than any other in this in this new trilogy that requires more views for me to really know how it's going to sink in. It's just that kind of movie for me. So I'm going to watch it some more. But at this point, I would say Halloween Kills is still my favorite of the trilogy, followed by this, and then followed by 2018. So I'm too much of a fanboy for all the flashback stuff in 78, and I just love all the killing and gore and Michael just going to town. That's it. Even though I can't stand some of the aspects of the ending, I don't know. I think it was almost like the perfect blend of things for Kills, just for being a basic slasher fan and enjoying that shit and all the 78 love. So there you go.
Cool. So I guess now we give some awards, right? So we got let's do the banana peel.
Oh yeah, Matt. We always do awards at the 4-hour mark. So yeah, go
I
ahead.
know, right? Yeah. I'm like,
awesome.
Banana peel. I mean, for me, it's definitely Allison in this movie.
Oh no, what about the fucking girl, the doctor?
Deb.
I mean, she is good looking. Don't get me wrong, but it's the way that she's portrayed in this movie by the actress. I forget her name, but and just
Andy Manichek.
Yes, and all the range of emotions that she has, and I love unfortunately, I like messed up people, so I find that very attractive.
I'm with you.
Yeah, she's definitely that for me. Yeah.
Oh, especially for their kids.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like that band girl.
Oh yeah,
yeah, she's real fucked up. Yeah.
And then Banana Split. It's tough, but I guess the most fun for me is the DJ getting his face demolished, because that's probably that's the most effects laden one, I think, and it's visceral, and it's just the most fun for to see that kind of brutality and to see the effects actually happen on screen.
I think that Deb, that girl, is the banana wanna peel, that bad girl. She's bad and she's kind of sexy, and that kind of adds to it. So yeah, I dig her.
Yeah, she's hot. Mm-hmm. Oh, I wanted to say that she's still calling him doctor whenever she's over at the house, and I actually listened to something where people were stunned by that she was still using that term. But guys, guess what? I got a title in my occupation, and when somebody calls me chef, when we're not at work, it's fucking hot. Let me tell you.
See? Toss my salad, chef.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. That shit is hot. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. No, I think it adds to it. But the thing is this. I think it also is a statement of they just started hooking up, and she's not even comfortable calling him freaking whatever Bruce yet, or whatever his name is. So it makes it more sexy. He's just seducing her.
I think this is the first time.
She just got there. Right. So she's not at that level with him yet. And I find that kind of erotic in its own way, the first time you hook up. Yeah. Even though it's, he's older and she's younger. But that is just the that happens in this franchise, in this movie with the older guy and the younger girl.
Oh, is he older? I didn't even notice that.
It always happens the same on Pornhub too, so it makes sense.
Oh God, gross. So there's that. Gross, I'm saying. Meanwhile, I would love to hook up with a 22-year-old. So who am I to say? But I don't look like those guys do. So that, and I agree with you, Matt, on the banana split being the DJ. It's great, and then you get the added bonus of the end of the freaking tongue on the record causing freaking scratching and shit.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh yeah,
that's just fun.
It was fun, yeah. So
I love how Allison turns the radio off. She's like, "This is annoying."
I would have kept it on as long as possible. I want to see what's happening here. Right.
Can they hear this? My banana to peel is definitely Corey's mom. That's like face fuck heaven right there.
God, yeah, because she's such a bitch. Yeah, you want to take it out on her? Yeah, awesome. I get it.
Yeah, I want to do that after she makes out with me, after she slaps me.
Yeah. I can dig it.
See, Matt is making it weird because I never think of the personality that often when I'm doing this banana to peel. But it would be Allison, absolutely. But I think I'm more attracted to the doctor chick.
Right on both accounts. I'm with you there.
Yeah. So are we allowed to do threesomes here, or is this just like
Hey, no rules, right?
Oh, okay, great. Well, then I'm going to do that.
Okay.
But I want to do it on the day that they both get told one is not getting the job and one is, so I can have a mix of emotions in the bedroom. Yeah. So
that's pretty smart, actually.
For sure.
So then the kill, you're going to think I'm crazy, is a total Michael J. move, but it's Jeremy. When this fucking kid, his head pops up on the ground and then lands back down, I have never been more jaw-dropped. Literally, my mouth was hanging open. I did not expect that at all. I'm waiting for Corey to get in trouble because she overheard him say, "I'm going to kill you, Jeremy." And hearing all the bang, I was like, oh, God. What's going to happen when she heard all this shit going on and blah, blah, and sees the movie playing on the TV? Like, I'm thinking totally different stuff here. Then all of a sudden, this fucking kid hits that ground so hard, and then, or whatever the fuck happened, I don't even know. I was just like, I just turned and looked at everybody, jaw dropped. And nothing affected me like that in the rest of this movie.
Yeah, it's a stunner, for sure.
Oh, a stunner. But if you want to go for, like... Again, Michael's killings aren't even the ones that did it for me. It was the blowtorch, which was Corey killing. So those would be the two, for sure.
Yeah, Dave, I'm surprised the first thing you didn't say when you came on here was the fact that they killed the kid within the first 10 minutes. I figured you'd be jumping up and down about that.
True. I was very excited about it. I was like, now that at first when I said that's not how you start a Halloween movie, but then that happened. and I was like, boom. And I looked over at my daughter and I was like, I gave her an enthusiastic thumbs up. I was like, all right.
And you're like, is there a baby in the house that you could throw down the stairs too?
Wait, hold on, look out!
2 for 1.
Oh man! No dogs though. Not this whole This whole new franchise, or pardon me, the new trilogy. There was nothing dog related at all. They removed it completely, didn't they?
Well, they brought it up in the flashback.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, that's true. They at least.
But that was it, though. I mean, we have to think. What has he been, eating on down there? Where's he getting food and stuff? So.
I know where he's getting food from.
Oh.
That's why he lets that bum live. It clears it right up for me when some people are saying, why would he let that guy live? I'm like, well, the guy knows he's there, so he's probably being spared because he's somehow, he's providing food somehow.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
That's how I look at it, because it's like an animal. He's benefiting from, you know what I mean? He's feeding off of him somehow.
The pack mentality. He's like an animal. Yeah. Okay, well, I think it's only fitting, since this is the end of Michael Myers, that we actually go through and rank the entire franchise. And that includes Rob Zombies, that includes, everything, front to back. So I did this earlier today, and I usually don't do rankings that often, except on BananaLaser, I guess. But I looked at this as like, not necessarily what is the best movie, but more as like well-made movie front to back, but more as what do I want, what will I get the most enjoyment out of watching? And so with that, I kind of broke mine up into 3 different sections. Well, I'll just read down and I'll explain it later.
So you're going from worst to best?
I'm gonna go from. Should I? I can go. Should we go worst to best, or
so we have a big ta-da at the end? Yeah, maybe. Right.
Okay. All right. So at the bottom of my list, and hopefully I didn't forget one, but I think I got them all. Bottom on my list is Halloween 5.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anything needs to be said about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jason Lloyd, the constant defender of this fucking movie.
Right. Yeah.
And then next up, I'd go Rob Zombie's Halloween. I just never got that much enjoyment out of watching that one. I like some things about it, but it's not a great rewatch for me. Then above that, I got Halloween Resurrectum, Resurrectum. That's a weird anomaly. Lots of good stuff in that movie, ideas, but yeah, that's very strange. Okay, and then the last one of this tier, which might surprise some people, but I got Halloween 4.
Ooh.
Which I do like, but is usually closer to the bottom of my list as far as ones that I just want to put on. So then in my second tier, since these movies are so fresh, I just put this trilogy in its own tier here in the middle. I think give it a year or two, I'd probably put these in at different areas, but the next three in this tier I just put from the bottom up: 2018, Kills, and Ends. I just put those all right here because, I mean, let's face it, out of all of these movies, even between Halloween 1 and 2, these movies go very well together, so they all speak to each other. So then my top tier, and these are my most favorites, from the bottom up, next is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I think I've been on record as saying I love it very much, and I still do. Then above that, again, some of these might, you guys might question, but the next one I got is Halloween H2O.
Nice.
So that's number 5 on the list. Then I got Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Because, I wouldn't say I'm a Michael J. fan about this movie, but even when I watched it the first time, I forget what I've said about, in our BL reviews, but there's something weird about this movie that makes it very attractive. It's just, it's not atrocious like Halloween 5, but it's also not, great like any of the other ones. So, but it is a fun train wreck as opposed to just a train wreck. So then my top 3, I got Halloween 2, then I got Season of the Witch, then I got Halloween. And that's my official rankings. I feel like if anybody does this list and doesn't have Halloween at number 1, seems weird, but I don't know.
Right. Okay, so there's 13 of these, right?
Indeed.
I'll just let you all know where the halfway mark is, I guess. All right, so at the very bottom, Halloween 5.
Right on.
Next worst, Halloween 8. Above that, Halloween 2018. Above that, Halloween 6. Above that, Halloween Kills. Then Rob Zombie's Halloween. Which actually, no, I'm sorry. I wrote that wrong. Because I had to write them side by side. I like Kills more than Rob Zombie. So it's 5, 8, 18, 6, Rob Zombie, then Kills. And above Kills is part 4. So that's basically halfway. So we have 6 left. So my top 6 going from worst to best is H2O, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Halloween Ends is number 4, number 3 is Halloween 3, 2 is Halloween 2, 1 is Halloween 1. So in case that was hard to follow, my top 5 are Halloween 1, 2, 3, Ends, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and then H2O.
Wow.
Nice. All right. I want to see how they all differ.
Yeah, I'm writing them down.
But oh, okay, cool. So at the very bottom, Halloween : Resurrectum. Fuck that fucking turd. Then Halloween 5, and then Halloween 4.
Ooh, God damn it! What's wrong with you people?
I thought were going to kill me for having it so low. Holy shit.
No, those are the 3. That is the bottom 3 for me, and they are the ones that, like, I say that I like the series. When I say this is my second favorite franchise, I can basically say that I like them all except those 3. And I don't hate 4 and 5. I don't hate 4. Oh, 4 is so flawed. I have so many problems. But there are some good things about it. There are some fun.
What? Because he looks like an action figure.
That's part of it, but none of it makes sense. The plot, it's terrible. So, and then H2O. Now, when I say that, it sounds like I'm down. But if I'm looking at ratings here, if I'm going 1 to 10, Everything here is a 6.5 and higher. So there's nothing bad. That's what I'm saying. I'm high on the franchise as a whole. So we have H2O, and that was a tough one between. But when I really sit down with something about the next movie, I get more of a good Halloween vibe when I watch it than I do, and I just go to it more in October, especially. Which honestly is the only time I watch these. But I just will go to this before H2O, and it's Halloween 6, the producers cut.
Yes.
Yeah. It has a good Halloween atmosphere, and it has good aspects in the producer's cut. I just actually enjoy it, despite the Thorn stuff. So then after that, we have Halloween 2018. Right above that is Rob Zombie's Halloween. And then right above that, Halloween Ends. Then Halloween Kills. And then Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Yeah, and that's the big middle section, I guess. There's 3 big ones on the top, and there's three shit ones on the bottom, and the middle section is the middle section. So, but the top 3 are always going to be this. Although I have flip-flopped a little bit between the second and the third, just depending on the way the wind's blowing that day. But recently, it's been this. So, Halloween 3 is 3, Halloween 2 is 2, and the original Halloween 1978 is number 1. So, yeah, pretty easy, right? 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
And then after that, H2 and Kills, which are kind of neck and neck. And then we got Ends, RZ1, 2018, 6, H2O, and then the bottom 3, 4, 5, Resurrectum. That's that.
Yeah, it's our middle sections that are kind of the different parts. The ends are kind of similar for most of us, and then the top, of course.
I'm sorry, Matt. What are your top 4? In order of best to worst.
Halloween, Halloween 3, Halloween 2, and Halloween 6.
I'm sorry, what's number 5 then? I gotta know what's after 6.
H2O.
That's great.
Yeah. All right, well, this has been great. But yeah, we probably should get off of here since it's hour 5 in this podcast. And it has to end at some point. So thank you guys for listening. Thanks you, Dave and Alex, for joining me again. And like I said, I will probably be back on a mic in, 4 years. So
that's the only reason he will return.
Yeah, when I'm 48, I'll come back to BananaLaser. But just kidding. Who knows? Cool. So yeah, I will just end by saying Happy Halloween, lasers.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong. With this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
BananaLaser.
Don't go to Haddonfield.
BananaLaser.
God damn you.
Hello, BananaLaser.
He's not human. I shot him 6 times. I shot him in the heart.
BananaLaser.
You don't know what death is.
Thank you for listening to the BananaLaser podcast. Please be sure to check out horrorphilia.com for a full archive of all of our previous episodes, as well as other great podcasts, like The Skeleton Crew, My Bloody Podcast, and many more. Please be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at BananaLaser Show. Also, join our Facebook group page at facebook.com/groups/BananaLaser. That's where the real lasers come out. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, where we post trailers, movies, and more. Interact with us. Please send us a voicemail at 314-720-8842. Or send us an email at bananalaser@gmail.com. You can also find us on iTunes and Stitcher. Again, thanks for listening, and keep on banana-ing.
Happy Halloween, everybody!
Banana Laser wins every time.
Go home!